live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned into Burgundy Blue Commentary live from Dolton, Illinois. My people, you are tuned in.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? Happy Sunday. Getting everything together. Sorry you guys, I'm in a tight space today. So I'm actually feeling a little claustrophobic because I'm in such a tight space, but I want to start this video as I promised on this channel. What we'll be doing is going over history. And history comes in a lot of forms, short term, long term, whatever's going on. I'm not a podcaster or anything like that, or maybe even a YouTuber. I only started talking about Dolton because it's my experience. Growing up in Thornton Township, I think it should be more. I want to say this clearly. I think it should be more people that grew up here um, talking about Dolton because um, this is why uh, you'll get the full situation, just a full situation. You don't have to be pro Tiffany or anti Tiffany. I told you guys I was at a meeting yesterday, and I was not personally invited, so I'm not a Tiffany favorite. Tiffany is not. I'll tell you two things. I was invited to run by both sides, not both sides, meaning the trustees versus Tiffany, but I was invited to run in Dolton, and I was invited to run by independent in Thornton Township. And I didn't take either because I believe I didn't attempt to do either because number one, hey Conscious, thanks for being here. Number one, they only want me to run because I had a little popularity or they didn't have enough people to run. So if you didn't know, in Dolton, Illinois, you have the Jason House Dream Team point 2.0 is what I'm gonna call it. I don't think it should be Clean House. It's Jason House Dream Team 2.0. It's the next. It's the same thing as Tiffany people, but Tiffany people. First of all, it's Riley people. Then Riley people left. Then it turned from Tiffany people. Now Tiffany, they mad at Tiffany. Now it's a new team. It's just a revamp of the same people. But if they don't have people to run against them, it's an automatic win. So I always want people to know maybe we could just think for ourselves. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean, I was the same way. I was like, you guys can look at my old videos. It's always history. I remember the trustees standing outside. Oh, Tiffany locked out. And we're going to cover this all week. Tiffany's locking us out. Tiffany's doing this. What's that other guy? Keith Freeman's doing this. That was my whole thought, you guys. I would never lie to you. And now, as an experience, just from having one question, I've seen multiple people, not just myself. They're on attack because they had a question. I'm like, well, I thought these were the people that I was supposed to answer our questions. Um, just like we're so last night I'm on the ground because you guys called me and said, "Hey Berg," my neighbor called me and Mama Hill called me. And they said, "Hey Berg, come up here." I was like I said, it wasn't no personal invite. People don't even take me as a media person because I'm here. Because I'm here, none of them look at me as a YouTuber. They're always going to give the YouTubers that don't live here the tea. Now they did try. They did try to give me something. And I was just like, no, I have questions. I have thoughts. What about this? Okay. What about that? So my only plea to you guys, it's a lot of things. You guys always, if you have a question, it's your Tiffany supporter. Anybody else experience that? Let us know. But it's my experience. If you have a question about anybody other than Tiffany, you're a Tiffany supporter. But what the masses are not realizing is so many people. Yeah, we got the new people now. It's the new people. I saw Kiana Belcher on a live the other day. The woman who she was on a live with didn't even know where Dolton was, didn't know if she was in Wisconsin, didn't know if it was Illinois, didn't know anything. She didn't have any questions. It was just a hate Tiffany campaign. And no one asked, what are we going to do once Tiffany's gone? And you know why we're not asking that? Because you guys on the internet, the majority of you, you don't have to worry about it. The whole thing is get Tiffany out. That's your whole thing. Get Tiffany out. That's all we care about, right? Okay. But we don't ask anybody, hey, you know what? Well, once you get in there, um, what's your plans? Clean house. 2025 is the worst campaign they could have gave Jason because my humble opinion being here, and it's no disrespect to Jason, he won't make it. He won't make it. If he doesn't do what everyone tells him to do, he will not make it. That's my humble opinion. I want to share something. Now you see this group right here. I'm sure I have 16 people in here. Hey Brandon, hey Tony, Conscious, everybody hit the like button if you're in here. I know a lot of times y'all be in the bushes and that's okay. They don't know if you like you can't get pulled out the bushes for liking, okay? And thanks UK. See, you're over here in the UK. Wow, that's interesting. I love it. So, this is my question. You see the people here. Can you name all of them? I'm sure you can because they've all been across your screen, right? All summer long, Tiffany Tahoe and Tiffany this and this and that. It all summer long. Not like I'm not saying anything about that. But do you guys know the guidelines of um the trustees meeting the way they are in Illinois? Do anyone know? I have this person. She always emails me guidelines. I appreciate her. I think we're on different sides, but she always sends me guidelines. And of course, we have Conscious. Thank you, Conscious, and all these amazing people. I want to know. Do you guys know what I think it's a General Assembly, right? So in Illinois, it's a violation of an Open Meetings Act for more than two trustees to be meeting. And that's why Tiffany says secret squirrel meeting. Now, the difference, I can always tell y'all, the difference is if she was not coming to the park district when she was invited. So that's not a secret squirrel meeting, in my opinion, right? And according to because they're telling her to come, they're telling everyone to come, and it's posted. Now, this is the problem. Now, that's just my analogy of it. This is my problem. In Illinois, the Open Meetings Act governs how public bodies, including village trustees, must conduct their meetings. Okay? Now, while I'm telling you this, I'm just going to share this. You see this same group of people? Let's go over here. Tea with the trustees. How many trustees, active trustees, do you see there? And a clerk. And a clerk. And all of a sudden, oh, sorry guys, let me take this down. Tea with the trustees, all these active trustees, and a clerk in Village Hall. Now, unless they were bashing Tiffany, it's not broadcast. For the last 8 months, it hasn't been a full video released to Tea with the Trustees. Media doesn't come to Tea with the Trustees to report with a full report, unless it's to bash Tiffany. You don't see any of the YouTubers going in there. They won't let me in there at all. I can't. I mean, I can because I'm a resident and I could fight it. But you don't see. You saw Mama Hill get kicked out for even filming Tea with the Trustees, and I'm gonna drop that video today. So my question is, as the people, the group of us, we hate Tiffany so much. How many of these faces do you see on Tea with the Trustees running for office? Also, how many of these faces running Tea with the Trustees? How many people I've heard this week, every person, and because I'm here, every person that had an issue with Tiffany, a complaint about Tiffany, they either are running for Thornton Township Board, Dolton Board, Park District Board. All of them. And it's nothing you can look at. When you finish looking at that, look at the jobs as well. Now, I want to go to Left of the Center podcast. Now, I didn't even finish the whole. You can look that up. You can look that up yourself. The whole rules. They're calling it Tea with the Trustees, but this is more than 2 people or 3 people gathering. Plus, they're gathering with the former mayor. Plus, they're gathering with the clerk. That's a meeting. That's a meeting no matter how much we hate Tiffany. Um, let's talk about another thing that they do: texting during the meetings. That's if the trustees communicate in a way that constitutes a serial meeting. Look it up. This can also violate the Open Meetings Act. Okay, so if you want to look at it that they're not violating anything, this is what I want to say. If you're saying this is tea with the trustees and just refreshments, fine. They stop recording it altogether. Even how are the trustees? Do they have a Dolton trustees page monetized? Where does that money go? Where do the monetized Dolton trustee page money go? They're able to only share with you what they want, which isn't tea with the trustees. The last one we had, I think, was 8 to 9 months ago, approximately. They could share the jail release. Tea with the trustees could have. I mean, the trustees, Dolton trustees YouTube page could have been up there at Tiffany's rally. They were circling around the building. I have it. I ran head to head to Miss Stubbs, going out while I was recording, head to head to Valerie Stubbs. So that's why I was like, wait, I see Valerie Stubbs, I see Andrew Holmes. I'm wondering, I didn't know who meeting it was. They've never came on record and asked Andrew Holmes to step down, and someone was allegedly harmed by Andrew Holmes, but they never put on the microphone and said for him to step down. Right? Things that you should look at. Things that you should look at. What allegation has came to be what I want to say has been completed, meaning what allegation has came to be completed, I'll say that, against Tiffany. What has been done, what has been founded, that's the word I was looking for. What has been founded against Tiffany? Nothing. But now we're going over here to Conscious YouTube page. We finally got the warrant list, and we see on one warrant list they approved $20,000 in K9 housing. It's people living in a hotel right there in Dolton next to Taco Bell, homeless. And we're approving $20,000 a month for K9 housing. Make it make sense. We got to say something. What's all these lunches, all these leases? Is it just Tiffany? So you mean Tiffany is going to Public Works buying them lunch, then going over here buying them lunch at the police station, then going to Village Hall buying them lunch? Why we don't have a more descriptive situation? So that's all I want to say. I'm opening my eyes a bit because I didn't know what was going on. Now I'm looking at it and I'm saying, this is illegal. As Tiffany say, illegal. But it could be disguised a certain kind of way. Gemini, hold on, baby. I got something for you. Hold on. Boop. Hold on. Anybody gone already? Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Conscious. If you now I had something for Gemini Conscious because I didn't see my chat. Now, people are saying, and that's the problem. They'll say we're getting paid for commentary, but we literally have someone on the inside, and I literally have messages from big YouTubers where they had their number one source giving them information. I don't have nobody giving me information. My information is coming from the ground up. So if you don't have a dog in this fight, don't worry about it. Just if you want to argue with me, bring a factual allegation that has been founded against Tiffany. What happened to the jail? What happened to the police? What happened to the fire station number 2? What happened to the boyfriend supplying pills? What happened to do y'all got any more you want to put in the comments? You got any more that you want to put in the comments? All the allegations that came out. Just show me one that's founded. I don't go by gossip. I go by what I see. Now, if we want to talk about, and hit the like button, you guys are in here listening, hit the like button. I only got hit the like. Now if you want to go by, hey you guys, hey everybody. That's right. It must be a mansion back there. Now, hey Dave, hello everybody. Now, if you want to go by, let's just go by you can't stand Tiffany and what's going on now in Thornton Township. Let me tell you what would be equal for me in my head, right? I have to look more into it. But do you guys recall when Tiffany went on Roland Martin? And I mean the whole thing, Dane Placco reported on it as well. She said that I should pull it up. They had a rule that the new supervisor salary would drop from 200 and some thousand to 25,000, right? Now, that was in the bylaws before she got here, right? However, do I think that's more? Now, it was supposed to be that, let's say the new supervisor come in if Tiffany's not reelected, right? It's supposed to be, do anyone remember that? Can you put a 1 in the chat if you remember that? It's supposed to be if the new supervisor come in, they only make 50,000. Now, that's what was really in the bylaws. However, they cut it in half and said, no, you're going to make 25,000 instead of 50,000. And that was to deter people because it's a lot of hard work to be, you'd have to have another job and then be the supervisor who could live off of that, working at the township as a public servant around the clock. That's what Tiffany did. What Napoleon did was lock out the voters. So let me tell you this. I think both sides are overusing their power. And that's how I think about what's going on in our township. So it's no amount that I could get paid from anybody to do commentary. And why would somebody pay somebody with me? I'm a small channel. I'm not even a huge channel. I don't try to retain my numbers. I don't try to do any of that. I'm saying I was covering Cody Brown and his 6 wives or whatever he had. And this hit my hometown, and I want to get you guys a different point of view. Okay. Now, if I'm getting paid by Tiffany, let's just go to it. Let's start off with a tea with the trustees. First of all, hit the like button. I'll be right back. Yeah, she got yeah. That's right, Tracy. Tiffany's got Frank's salary because she was appointed. And then guess what? That rule was overturned. So Napoleon won't be starting from 25,000 once he gets in, but if he gets in. But it wouldn't matter because he's a millionaire anyway. But this is what kills me. Do y'all ever look at not y'all, you know what I mean? The people that be so mad. Let's go to the Lansing Journal. Hold on. Let's go to the Lansing Journal. I want to go, I don't even have to do that. All I have to do is go to my page and my community wall. I'm sorry. I posted this for people for a reason. It's going to be sad because most of the people that's so mad at Tiffany, they don't even have. I heard one lady screaming, and y'all, I get it. It's an emotional situation. Lives 300 million miles away from here, just screaming at the top of her lungs because of what Tiffany is got going on. And it cracks me up because there's so much stuff going on in New York. It's so much stuff going on in Atlanta where they live. One lady came here from, I think, was in North Carolina just to tell me off. Baby, and Tiffany off. It's so much going on where you are. It's okay to be involved, but it's a lot going on. But shout out to the Lansing Journal. This is an amazing article, and I think y'all need to read it all the way through. The people that hate Tiffany so much, read it all the way through. So this is from Melanie Youngsma, and it's from March 4th of 2022. And don't forget, it wasn't all these cameras. Look, it wasn't crowded. It wasn't barricades. It wasn't people in the rafters. This was now let's really look at this. This is a great way to look at how things got so media crazy. Frank Zuccarelli was a supervisor of Thornton Township for 30 years almost, right? And he also was a Democratic committee man, and he also was a chairman of our local community college, South Suburban College, amongst other things. He's a big powerhouse out here. How many people showed up to fill his seat? The room had crickets going through it, maybe about 40 people. But how many people show up to a meeting just to see Tiffany Henyard? Hundreds. This was going to determine our whole future. And the trustees right here, you see up here, they couldn't even nominate themselves. Hey, Choose. Hello, everybody I'm missing. Hi. That would be great. Okay. So let's go. Okay, so it says, do I have to bump Bumpkin? Who the hell is that? Bump them, y'all. I don't know who that is. We're not distracting the chat. This is an educational chat. See you at the crossroads, Bumpkin. We don't know who you are unless you want to say who you are. You're bumped. Okay. That's not a real name. Okay. So let's go on over to you. See you at the crossroads. You won't be lonely, Bumpkin. There's a lot of people over there. Okay. So right here, I want to go over how the nominations went. This was at 11:15 at night, basically 11:14 at night. And remember, Tiffany won the nomination 7 minutes. And look, let's not forget. I have it. It took them. Frank died in January. Yeah. So they had 90 days to make their nomination or to give it to the people. Guess what they did? They decided not to give it to the people once again. That means it could have been a town hall meeting. Anybody could have stepped forward. They could have could have had a vote of hands. Any of that. We didn't have none of that. Okay. So let's go over what happened. So Chris Gonzalez, he nominated Cassandra Elston, and Darlene Gray Elbert seconded, and the votes were called. Jerry Jones abstained. Chris Gonzalez said yes. Gray Everett said yes. Trustee Washington, may she rest in peace, she abstained. Okay, it's 3 votes that you need to adopt a motion, and the abstains don't count as votes. And thank you again to the Lancet Journal. I want to scroll down. Stanley Brown was nominated. No one second. Let's keep on going. Number 6. Jerry Jones nominated Napoleon Harris, the same Napoleon Harris we see today, the senator we all love. Okay. Look at number 6. This is history. Jones nominated Napoleon Harris. No one seconded, and the motion failed. So could this be a little bit of bitterness? Because we could have had Napoleon. I want to be clear. We could have had Napoleon then. Do y'all realize that? He was a state senator there then. We could have had him then. We could have had him then. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I hope that people understand that. We could have had him then. It's a couple of videos you want to check out. They've been scrubbed from the internet, but we got somebody that knew somebody ahead of time, and every video that went out, he was on it. One is, you will see a certain PR person say, this man is a multi-millionaire. He does not want it, while she was in the car doing the interview. And then you'll see another point I want to make. So we didn't know. I didn't know. I heard the rumors that Napoleon was going to run, but everybody was saying no. What happened to Nate Fields? And I don't have a problem with Napoleon Harris at all. This is just me. This is just me saying just the tea, a whole thing. Oh, what happened to Nate Fields? I have a whole video coming out. Wasn't Nate Fields up there in front of Mary Avon at 7 a.m. at a press conference? Wasn't everybody cheering Nate Fields on every day that he was at the board meeting? Didn't Nate Fields have a neck brace on? And it was a whole thing, no follow-up, no tape, no. And I'm not saying, because I like to say this. I don't know what happened because I wasn't there, but I saw him at the Kiki Wyatt Fest with a neck brace on. And they was passing that picture around all the DOTTS and all the trustees. He was at the Kiki Wyatt Fest with me. And that's what we're calling it, but it's a Taste of Thornton Township. Y'all was clapping for Nate Fields running for supervisor, and I'm bringing this point home to this part. I felt so sorry. Did you guys see the Critical Smoker interview? Shout out to Critical Smoker. Let me see if I can pull it up as quickly as I can. Where y'all at? When they were contesting Nate Fields back to back at the election meeting. They contested, I mean, everybody, not everybody contested him. Not every side. It's three sides to a triangle, and Nate Fields got contested more like an octagon. And he didn't have a lawyer. Okay. I want to say this about Nate Fields. Nate Fields, he's running for Thornton Township supervisor. If you guys didn't catch what I was saying. This is the thing about Nate Fields. Nate Fields also was the only person I saw out there getting signatures, really. Like, I would pass by Jules, see Nate Fields. I passed by a high school, see Nate Fields. I saw Nate Fields everywhere, but he's one of those people that they told him not to talk to anybody but their group, unfortunately. I hope he gets more independent than that, because the thing about Nate, he knows a lot of people. He's a talented photographer, and it's a whole story. We had to do a whole video on Nate Fields because he was one of the first people that, when Zuccarelli died, he was there. He also is mentioned in Frank Zuccarelli obituary as his son. So Nate Fields has a lot of behind the scenes power. But where y'all at? Where y'all at to support him? Even with the lawyer. Like, Nate was up there contesting, asking questions, which I'm glad. Ask a question. I'm not ashamed of him. Please, Nate, if you don't know, ask a question. But it was really interesting. Wasn't nobody coming around trying to interview him. Wasn't nobody. Nate Fields was the only one that put his bid in. He went in as well. You guys. Don't forget. He went in as well and said, hey, I'm running for Thornton Township. I have a plan. He wrote it down, told us what's everybody else plan? We ain't heard nobody else plan. And they were like, yeah, he was interviewing. Now everybody then goes to him. Why y'all won't even back him behind the scenes? Let's listen to this part. When he said he was by himself, and I'm going to read y'all comments, that broke my heart, because I saw how, and I kept on saying, I had the Thelma Price voice, like, baby, they use you, baby, they use you. I was like, it's no way they're going to let Nate Fields in there. But he was contested so much. It's a reason.
Communicate to each other. If somebody say something about I'm happy to hear that.
We got 1,200 people watching from around the world.
Cool. What's up, everybody? Yeah, I don't have much of a team. I'm kind of doing a lot of this myself.
Do you hear him? He doesn't have much of a team. He doing a lot of this by himself. This channel is about just letting y'all know what's going on all the way around, because I'm not, I grew up in a house where we didn't discuss who we voted for. Did anybody else grow up like that? And even if I want to tell you guys who I want to vote for, I don't want to influence anybody any kind of way, no matter what y'all say. I don't want to influence you. I'm telling you what's going on. So that's why I'm talking about Nate Fields. If I'm a Tiffany Henyard favorite, she would have a problem with that, right? I stand out there. I give Tiffany her space. She know I'm one of her residents. She knows who I am. But she and I, if I can't, that's the difference between, now I'm gonna tell you this from a lot of people's perspectives, just not Burgundy's. That's the difference between Tiffany and the trustees. A lot of people that hate her still can go to her events. If they don't like you, they're gonna have you moved out. Much like you saw at the dots thing. Did you see how the sergeant at arms was about to move her out? Y'all gonna ignore that? He was about to remove her. And then Bert Olson was like, nah, don't do that. That's going to be a bad look for all of us. They don't want to hear nothing you have to say. So it looks like Tiffany from a certain optics is worse. But didn't we vote her in? And then these same people tell us to vote us in. So why are we listening to them again? You know what I mean? That's all I want to say. So Nate Fields, let's hear this one more time. And y'all recall all summer long when he was riding with everybody. Now, do I understand they're all on different parties? Yes. But they knew that from the beginning. Nate Fields was out there at 7 a.m. at a press conference when the DNC was here at the Dolton waterfall protesting Tiffany Henyard to the entire DNC and to Kamala Harris with the backing of the people. What's that? The people we didn't even vote for. What's called the committee for the Dolton Trustee People Advisory Board. He at least should have had a lawyer. Y'all, and I'm just saying, y'all at least should have pulled together and say, hey, Nate, what you need? Can we help you with this? Also, Nate turned his signatures in. Excuse me, guys. Nate turned his signatures in maybe twice. Was it twice, you guys? The first time the clerk rejected his signatures. Do you know what that man did? He went back and got some more signatures. From what I heard, he went door to door again. Like I said, I passed by Nate Fields. Nate Fields won't speak to, like, y'all be cracking up because y'all always send me that clip when the advocates say, it's so bad that that Mary is alone. They kind of isolated her. No. And then when you go to me and I'm like, well, you know, Nate Fields won't talk. Well, Nate Fields been told not to talk to certain people. That's what happens. This politics. I'm not blaming him. What I'm saying is, I will say what I see. Why is he out here alone? Why is he out here alone? And all summer long, when he had something to say about Tiffany, he was the bee's knees. Now he's being challenged. He don't have an attorney. So I better see some improvements for Nate Fields on the 17th if y'all say who you say you are. It's like, I'm just not saying it like in a threatening way, but y'all say you're for the people, and it doesn't have to be the Democrats. Where are all his supporters? He had enough signatures to get in there. So where's all the support? Okay, that's my thoughts. Y'all let me know what you think about this. Listen to what he said right here. And he's young. Do I think he's ready to be a Thornton Township supervisor? Anything could happen. I mean, Tiffany was a supervisor. She was young. He learned a lot under Frank. It's the same way I feel about Don Core. Don Core was in there for 100 years. Stephanie was in there for 100 years. Nate was in there for 100 years. So I guess they know somewhat. But do you really know about, Nate, the government? You know what I mean? Other than like what you saw in meetings.
For you today, though.
It went okay. I thought it was gonna be more hectic.
So what was the reason that they called you up 3 times?
I got objected to by 3 different cases, and all of it was similar, I would say. But I don't think I have anything to worry about.
Well, everybody in the chat's rooting for you.
That's what's up. I'm happy to hear that.
We got 1,200 people watching from around the world.
Cool. What's up, everybody? Yeah, you know, I don't have much of a team. I'm kind of doing a lot of this myself, you know. So everybody else has played their cards. They revealed their cards already. So hopefully that gives me an opportunity to choose my ace of spades and queen of diamonds.
Well, if you get elected, you need a media guy.
Okay, all right. I keep that in mind, man. Just stick around, you know, because like I said,
I'll be here for years. I'll be
because
here.
you like you told me your age. I don't want to say it on camera, but
And you said it on camera.
So is it a press going on now?
Do y'all have any questions for Nate?
Yes, I am. Okay. Yes, sir. Questions?
Hey,
They go.
they just say you probably should get an attorney.
Yeah, a couple people told me that. But, I don't know. I think we're very limited on the number of attorneys we have in the area, so they all kind of representing everybody. So I think
They say
Nate's so smart. Let me tell you that he's right. When I was going through what I went through, which I'm still going through, every attorney in Chicago has been help me with that word I want to say. It's a conflict of interest because they represented. That's what it is. It was a conflict of interest because some of these people have used every attorney in the Southland. He's not lying. And you know what I want to say? I'm not blaming this young man because I love when young people go for the gusto. If Nate wasn't running for supervisor, and he would be a shoe-in for trustee. And that doesn't mean a trustee is the lower level. I think he would have been a shoe-in for a trustee because, and I'm saying that honestly, because have you guys ever seen the Thornton Township board on how it runs? Like, we're all supposed to be equal, and the public, we're their bosses. We're supposed to be their bosses. Nate would have been a shoe-in for a trustee. He's so charismatic. He seems very kind. He's a friend of Zuccarelli. He knows you. I think he would have, if he could have got in that way. But who am I to tell him how to run what he want to run? But yeah, I just was thinking that it's gonna be a little harder for the supervisor. But he is so right. The Southland you gotta go, Nate, go to law school at the graduation this July. That's gonna be the only clean lawyers. These lawyers are so recycled around the Southland, and this is what makes me listen to Nate. I'm sorry, how he is the first one to say that out loud.
And you said it on camera.
Hey, Orange. Everybody, I miss you. Hey guys, Tracy, everybody. David, if I miss you, Miss Asia.
Do y'all have any questions for Nate?
Questions?
They just say you probably should get an attorney.
Yeah, a couple people told me that. But, I don't know. I think we're very limited on the number of attorneys we have in the area, so they all kind of representing everybody. So I think I'd like to show people that you can represent yourself.
They say, what help do you need from the people on the ground?
Just enlighten people. I think that's really important to communicate to each other. Let somebody say something about my age.
No, somebody asked if he was single.
Potentially.
What's going on? They said get something called Legal Shield.
I think I've heard of Legal Shield.
They want to know what's your email address.
Nate Fields for supervisor at gmail.com.
Okay.
Anyway, I just got the Tony just saying.
They say, do you have a place where they can donate?
Yeah, I do have a website. See, my website is natefieldsforthornton.com. So I do have an active website. You can donate now for like Thornton with an N, THORNTON.
That's right, Nate. Tell her.
People forget the first N. You have to include that.
Hey,
They want to donate to help you get an attorney.
That's cool too. Hey, anything helps. You know?
Tell them that email address again.
The email is Nate.
Okay, so Nate Fields said in this interview, I'm doing this by myself. I done seen, we got a whole video coming out. I done seen Nate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different ways with the Dolton trustees, with the Dolton Knights, with the group, supporting them. You can go to Nate Fields' Facebook page and see, let me see if I even can pull up and see even how he be posting in the Dolton Politics group, which y'all send me, because you know, if you go over there and try to defend yourself, they block you. So, and I think everything, it's so much bad advisement going on right here. And I'm not the end all be all of anything, but I think things are not going to turn. I've been saying this for almost 9 months. Things are not going to turn out the way we think they are because people are so messy. So let's go to Nate Fields for Thornton Township. It's 4,000 people in that group. He got 93 likes, 362 followers. Let's see what he posts about. I bet you most of his posts are about Dolton. So this is his campaign. I'm not too worried about age anymore because I think we're in a new day and time. You know what I mean? I'm not mad about his age. As if he has the knowledge. Look at that man. Look, apples and oranges. You know who impressed me? Have you guys? This is apples and oranges. We covered it on our channel. Do you guys see the youngest CEO of Red Lobster and how he's turning around when Red Lobster was about to go bankrupt? I think he's like 34. He's kicking butt. So no, I'm not about that. He says, not me, us. That's his slogan. Okay, so then here he go. He's out here with a petition signing event. He got another petition signing event. He got a picture. Oh, I can't see anymore because I can't. But he got Frank Zuccarelli. And y'all go over there and see what you need to know about, you know, what you want to know about Nate. But I just find that interesting. He was getting his, like, everybody, Nate Fields to the front, Nate Fields to the front, Nate Fields to the front, and that's it. Oh, thank you for that. Remember, Martin Luther King won the Nobel Peace Prize at the age of 35. That's interesting. I appreciate y'all. So this is where I want to clarify things. So this is Burgundy Blue Commentary. I want to show y'all both sides. We can have a nice, healthy discussion in the comments. You do not have to be for or against Tiffany, for or against Nate, for or against Napoleon. However, I think it's one-sided if you only look at one side. Okay. So now let's get to what happened, because we were talking about the we already been long-winded. And I see somebody in the comments, welcome to you, that was eating me up on Martin's show. So welcome. I'm glad to see you here where you can get another side of the perspective. So we was long-winded.
Can I be recognized, Mayor?
You want to be long-winded? I'm just asking.
All right. So let's get into the next part I want to talk about. Tea with the trustees before we get back to that. Now, please stick around because are we, if you want to be like, oh, you know, this channel is one-sided, da da da. Let's see, are we, after this little clip, if you will. And then we're going to get to the left of the center podcast after that. Okay. I appreciate y'all. Love you. The real Magnolia. Sorry, I'm watching and trying to do it. Yeah, them attorneys making bang. I want y'all to remember this moment. How do y'all feel? How do y'all feel? I've worked for municipalities before. How do y'all feel? Every municipality I work for, the chief of staff, even, is that the same with mayors? As I mean like Mayor Brandon Johnson. Did Mayor Brandon Johnson keep Lori Lightfoot chief of staff? Will Donald Trump keep Joe Biden chief of staff? Why are we always like, during this time, the chief of staff was removed after the incumbent left? Did I miss that? Big Mike, since you're here, can you tell me where you ever seen the chief of staff roll over to the new administration? Because I only know so much, so I'm not trying to judge. But let's talk about why Tea with the Trustees may not be filmed anymore. Now they can film it now for y'all because the plan has happened. You know what I mean? In my opinion. I've always seen the receptionist leave. I was a receptionist sitting out there like, oh, Lord, please don't let my job be gone. But let's look at this historical Tea with the Trustees event. Then we're going to go to the left of the center podcast because I want to get into some, because I don't understand what's happening here. And I'm asking from a general perspective for your advisement as well.
For this the belief
and everything right there. I had never seen a foot inside the village of Dolton. So that was in September, something like that. And she said that it was going to be a cutoff before. Y'all need me to hold on a second? Okay.
So let me just start a little. So this is Tea with the Trustees, and it's titled Mayor Henyard's Chief of Staff. Mayor Henyard's Chief of Staff discusses her resignation due to harassment, right? That's Dr. Nakita Cloud. Now, the funny thing about Dr. Nakita Cloud, if you, as a PR person, if you mention her name, you might get a message. I don't have it saved, but I got a nice message about getting slapped, and that's on record, about her slapping a bitch. It's on record, yeah, directed at me. This is a PR person. Now, do you think Beyonce PR person worried about if somebody mentioned their name or anybody else? This on record. And she's also the person that can delete your comments or make your life hell in Dolton politics. Okay? So that's on record. This is not a lie. This is not a fib. I don't have my screenshot handy, but I have a friend in the chat. Hopefully, because I don't have my phone in front of me. I only have my laptop. But I'll pull it up at the end. Just for me reporting on Dolton, someone with 2 degrees and a doctorate said they're gonna slap a bitch, and I said nothing. Nothing. Challenge me on that, you guys. I said nothing. I had said nothing. Go back to 8 months ago, this whole 48-hour notice and stuff. I said nothing to anybody. I don't even comment in Dolton politics or Dolton politics. I don't comment anywhere. I don't say anything about anyone. All I do is my commentary on my channel, which means if I'm on my channel, you got to come over here. I go out here by myself. I do what I gotta do, get my footage, and I go on about my business. And all of y'all big YouTubers will use my footage and not credit me at all. Not all, but a majority. Not credit me at all. And then take my footage and make it to the narrative that they told you to make it to. That's interesting, right? So, does anyone know what happened at this meeting? Because when I saw this, I made a video about Dr. Nakita, like, oh my God, they're talking about you, Keith Freeman doing this for you. That's okay, we're gonna support you. Because I saw only one side of the story. If you go to the Wiley show, which I have downloaded, the only reason I did not, Wiley has deleted it, but the only reason I have not placed that is because on Wiley's show, it was about 2 hours. It was Jed, Michael Smith, and Nakita Cloud, and we were all together, like texting each other, like, what is going on? The only reason I haven't is because in that live, a child is mentioned about, and this is timestamp, so it happened. And you guys let me know if you caught that live as well, where it was mentioned that someone was being texted and they were texting something about a elected official to the child. And I said, oh, I cannot. That's how I feel about all children. That stuff stays for days. So I'm not, or for years, I'm saying for days. Oh my God. Y'all can tell I'm doing two things at once. That stuff stays for years. And these kids have to go to school. So why would I post, oh, so-and-so said to this person's child? Now, if y'all saw it, let me know. Because it's still, look, the audio of it is still out there as well. But I have the whole video. And they said that Michael Smith said, and I wasn't there. I always tell y'all, when I'm not there, I leave it alone. That to do this to an elected official, peen. That's all I'm saying. This a little baby girl. This was on YouTube for everybody to see. Do you know how many views I would get re-uploading that? Especially after Wiley went over there in Walmart. I get so many views. They were oversaturating the market, just going to every platform to do that, to tell their story. Now, that could have happened, but I'm for protecting children. It's this side note, pause. If you guys, did y'all hear about the trophy wife? When she got online and said what happened, she was telling all the women how to get a husband, and then she found a husband, what he did to her babies. Those babies got to live with that trauma on YouTube forever. When they go to school, no, I'm not going to do that to nobody else. But I will tell y'all, I got the whole video of the argument. I was like, wow, this. Why is nobody going to the police? I've never been in a town where every time we turn around, it's these sex offenders, alleged. Now, let me say, Jerry Jones, Thornton Township, we're alleging that he did something to some boys at a football team, right? Or basketball team or something like that. They went to his house. They harassed him. He quit, right? He's gone. What about the victims? I thought we were worried about the victims. So are we worried about the victims or the survivors, or are we only worried about getting these people out of office? Let's look at some of your comments. That's what I want to know. Are we only worried about getting these? Because what happened? Okay, so y'all saying we got to get Jerry Jones out of office for alleged SA. What's the follow-up? Am I wrong? Can y'all tell me what you think about that? What's the do we care about just getting him out of office? Is that the victory for you? I'm just wondering if it's, you know what I mean? I'm just asking. So once they gone, their sins are clean. We just need the seat cleared. I'm just asking. And I would have never been this vocal about it because I was just covering stuff going on. Now I'm seeing, first of all, I think that's a problem that he was intimidated out his seat. Then I think it's a problem if he left his seat because of the intimidation. I'm asking. Or, oh, he had a lawsuit? Wow. Okay, so let's watch. Thank you for, hey, Trina Downs. Thank you for telling me what's going on and your thoughts. I'm just saying, we can intimidate him out his seat because he alleged it's some alleged things. Okay, so are we gonna what's gonna happen with the survivors or victims? I don't mean to say the wrong thing of allegedly what he did. Are we following through with that too, or we just nah? That's all we got. He gone. So now the seat filled. Let's go. And then let's keep on dragging out the process of not coming into the meetings. However, Chris Gonzalez, why y'all let that slide? Chris Gonzalez called into the electoral board election to make his vote. Easy peasy. Nobody said a word. So it's not about if you're for Tiffany or if you're for Napoleon or if you're for Jason. It's about if you're for the residents at this point, if you're for justice. Okay. I just want one thing that has happened that has been completed. Just one thing. One thing. All the allegations, I'm waiting on it to come to nobody saying Tiffany perfect. When did we close any case? Where is Scooby-Doo? Okay, so let's get to let's watch Tea with the Trustees, and then we're gonna go to left of the center. We have an expert here, Trina Downs, that could tell us, if 2 or more trustees meet, doesn't that mean it's a meeting? So can they really cover it up with Tea with the Trustees? And for the last 8 months, everybody y'all seen stand up there at that DOTS meeting. Napoleon Harris was at the last Tea with the Trustees. Who knew that? Who knew Napoleon Harris was at the last Tea with the Trustees? Can y'all let me know if y'all knew that? Did anybody tell you that Napoleon Harris was at the last Tea with the Trustees before the caucus? Did y'all know that? Did y'all hear that? Why they didn't show that? Why they didn't video the whole meeting? So is it, even though they're giving you donuts and Woods barbecue, is it technically a meeting? And I learned a lot from this from Trina Downs. Not this what I'm speaking of, but looking into the rules and regulations. I learned a lot of this from what happened to me. I learned a lot of this from Jason House. When he would tell me something, and I'd be like, wait a minute, let me look up the statute. And then I would go back and say, well, hey, how are y'all able to do this? And why are you not putting this on the Jumbotron? And then they was like, nah, they was like Nino Brown. You talking about the real name Nino Brown? That was them. They was like, cancel this bitch. It was 100%. When I started answering, I started asking questions. Tiffany might have walked in with a dog, but as soon as I started asking questions, this was my entire life. I was like, wait a minute now. Now, wait a minute. Y'all telling me Tiffany this bad, but this was immediately. I was like, Jason, can you help me?
You're a murderer, Nino. I've seen you kill too many people, Nino.
Cancel that bitch. I'll buy it.
That was him and ASD. Sorry. My microphone, I gotta adjust my voice. That was them immediately when I was like, wait a minute. They was like, bring in the next YouTuber. Bring in the next YouTuber. Hit the like button. All's fair. Dr. Scott is another video I'm gonna have to cover. How was Tiffany not allowing her to build out? The Clean House 2020-25 campaign came out. All of a sudden, they got a campaign office, a bookstore, a dress shop. Why won't she just tell us how that happened? Did Tiffany give her the license? Did Jason give her the license? Was it able to be a build out anyway? What happened with the money that was raised with Tommy G? That's why Tommy G needs to come back. Not because of Dr. Nicole Scott, just to see both sides. Let's go. Oh my God. Choose. I want to do a video on you. I want to do a video on you about when you tried to help someone and how you were attacked. You were literally trying to help someone with housing, food that was in trouble, and they attacked. Choose Compassion was on the other side giving them flowers, y'all. And I don't mean it sad. It was just the way it was, and I don't think that's wrong. People looked at things the way it was. Smart move to give it to the YouTubers, and now it's Tiffany Pork Chop. Look at those big YouTubers now, and look how much they put out. I think it's one huge YouTuber. He feels sorry for one person, so he keeps on putting out certain things, but he don't know what's going on here. He only has one source. So yeah, let's go. All right, let's go to again. I'm always gonna put this up here. Before we move on, this does not mean we hate Napoleon Harris, but y'all showed this Nate to the side. Number 6, they nominated him just 2 years ago, and Napoleon couldn't even get a second. This on record. He couldn't even get a second. Now he has a whole auditorium. But this is the problem with Napoleon, in my opinion. He could have won probably fair and square. He got real bad advisement. Y'all sat up there and filled the auditorium with a masa dinner before the caucus. The people sat there, ate all that spaghetti, and was full. And then when the caucus came along, right? The caucus came along, nobody left the building, and we were stuck outside because of capacity. Why you just didn't meet her at the polls? Also, Tiffany put her nomination in. Now, yes, it's other caucus rules I want to talk about. Like they said that you can't have an office within a year and all that. I want to talk about that. But Tiffany said, I nominate myself, just like somebody walked up and nominated Napoleon. Why you just didn't say, okay, I accept your nomination? She literally, if I'm saying this right, would have lost just if they would have accepted her nomination. But they were so bitter because Tiffany was there and they couldn't wait to do that na again. They had planned all that out. That was all planned out at the dinner. Y'all, we're going to do the na. Hey, because she did the ASD. Y'all was so emotional. Y'all gave her a case. So if you hate Tiffany, you gave her some kind of case regardless. Okay. Or some way to fight the case, which is going to cost the taxpayers money. Because Chris Gonzalez is not going to come. Carmen's not going to come. They're not going to come to the meetings, and the people are going to lose resources. It's going to make that's the whole strategy. Make Tiffany look bad. That's the whole strategy. Let's go to the chief of staff, and then we'll go to what really happened. Let's go back to that. Hit the like button, you guys. You in here, hit the like button. Nobody will know. Nobody will know it's you. Listen to both sides. Are y'all ready to see what really happened at tea with the trustees? This is why it's not taped no more.
Before, y'all need me to hold on a second? Okay.
Hold on, I want Ryan.
So that was in September, something like that. And she said that it was going to be a cutoff before. Y'all need me to hold on a second? Okay.
For this the belief was somebody would come here to disrupt information coming to the residents of Dolton. For that belief, we have a wonderful Dolton resident who has provided security for today to make sure that a situation, thank you, Sister Mary Avant.
Now, let's just look at the room right quick. Riley Rogers sitting right there over Mary Avant's head. Mary Avant is controlling the door. This is an open meeting, public meeting. Then we got 2 security guards over a Tiffany Henyard supporter, they're saying, right? And Jason House is on the mic telling people it is someone. So I think it's a whole, I thought, let me tell y'all who I thought that was. I thought it was, and no, I'm sorry, Falcon, ex-Falcon, Don Core, I thought it was you, because Don Core has been there before to disrupt the meeting on behalf of Tiffany, allegedly. But I thought it was a dude. Look at Mary, the 2 goons. Now y'all talk about goons, and then watch Ed Steve come to the real mayor
And the team to make sure that.
And I want to add, the taxpayers are paying for this room. We're paying for the food. We're paying for the security. So don't think this is all donated.
That we can have an orderly and conduct the meeting in the way that it's supposed to be done. So apologize for the disruption, because there's some information that's not coming again from the trustees. This is coming from somebody who was They
distracted it so much. Now you see Ed is talking to Riley. Now wait till you see who's behind here, and look at Sergeant at Arms Mary Avant, who's now nominated Thornton Township. You have to open your eyes. And let's out this room. Are those 2 security Dolton residents, or is the person speaking behind there a Dolton resident? This is very important. Now let's see who was really there. What really was happening. Hit that like button. Tell a friend. And I appreciate y'all being here just to hear out a different perspective. I challenge any huge YouTuber to really take the time and look at all of this. Now, this is from a taped. That's why you can't. Now, this, in my opinion, is why. Now, let me tell you. After today, they're gonna take tea with the trustees because they listen to everything I say. However, the plan is done. So the plan is done. So they could take whatever they want to, in my opinion, because they had all kind of people meeting there, and it was never live streamed. But they make money off of live streaming any other event, the jail release, the DOTS meeting, Tiffany Henyard, but they wasn't live streaming them walking door to door giving out food boxes. They wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, y'all have to look at everything. Let's go.
Right. So I really thought.
Same meeting.
I'm like, wow, because when you're coming off the year of a woman, I mean, how can you not vote for? We just put Kamala Harris in office, right? Yes. So
he felt intimidated.
I went and
pathetic piece of crap.
I met with her. I met with Tiffany because she had hired someone else to be her chief of staff, who happens to be a friend of mine. So I noticed she didn't want to meet with me inside of Dolton. Thought that was a little shaky, but then again, whatever. So we met out in a coffee shop out in Homewood. So when we got to the coffee shop in Homewood, she told me that she needed someone for PR. She told me that she had a publicist who gave her this bogus script to say when Alexis Wilson was murdered. She told me, and
I want to say things that you wouldn't know unless you were here. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm going to start this video over. Number one, she said, I didn't come to Dolton because my friend was working as chief of staff. Now, do anybody know who this friend is? Because I do. And so I met with Tiffany on the side at Homewood. Doesn't nobody feel that's kind of weird? And then remember, after that, Nakita got the job. But okay. Then she says that Tiffany met with this publicist. Everybody here in Dolton know who the publicist is that gave Tiffany the statement. Y'all on the internet the big YouTubers won't say it. You won't say it. You won't ask the questions. And that's the problem. So we just skipped over two people. Nakita then got the publicist job and the chief of staff job. And if we fast forward, she's going to have both jobs. She actually got the job to be the PR for the trustees in Thornton Township, the two. And she also got the job to be the trustees in Dolton. Isn't that ironic? Like, we don't see nothing, a conflict of interest. Like, I just want to start this over. Sorry about that. I wanted to put that in there. My friend was working there at the time. She got the friend job. Then she got the publicist job. But y'all don't, if you're not, Google those people and see who those people are and really look into it. I have to say that. One of them I know, and he cool, but it's just, it is what it is. Like, you don't get to be PR and put everybody else out there like she does. Put everybody else out there, say what you want to say. And then if somebody say, hey, you know what, Nakita, you look good in purple. You're obsessed with me. You're obsessed with me. You don't get to do that. That's not what happened.
it was going to be better. I'm like, wow, when you're coming off the year, a woman, I mean, how can you not vote for? We just put Kamala Harris in office, right? Yes. So
He felt intimidated.
I went
You're a
and
pathetic piece of crap.
I met with her. I met with Tiffany because she had hired someone else to be her chief of staff, who happens to be a friend of mine. So I noticed she didn't want to meet with me inside of Dolton. Dolton was a little shaky with anything or whatever, so we met out in a coffee shop out in Homewood. So when we got to the coffee shop in Homewood, she told me that she needed someone for PR. She told me that she had a publicist who gave her this bogus script to say when Alexis Wilson was murdered. She told me that the previous publicist told her to say what she said on television. My immediate response was, and you said it? So you read it and you said it? She said, yeah, I mean, because, you know, I just trust my people around me to tell me and lead me in the right way. I said, but if you read something so insensitive, sis, you don't get in front of national television.
They dancing over this dead girl. Y'all pathetic ass grown people dancing over that dead girl. Pathetic trustee dancing over the body of a dead girl. You know what? Look, don't in the public forum. And I'm a grown woman. Don't put your finger. Don't put your finger. Yeah, y'all should get y'all trustee. No, no. See, that's your problem. And thanks for confirming to the Department of Justice. This is the problem. This is the Department of Justice. To the Department of Justice, this is the problem. So let me tell you, I'm a human rights activist out here. And if y'all put me out, I'm a human rights activist. I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen. You know what, sir? That's fine by me. Let's go. Come on. Don't put your but don't you. I'm a human rights activist. You put me out of something in my own community. You put me. No, wait a minute. Did you? What did I do? You saw me walking. Please, let's step by. That ain't caused nothing. Please, let's step by. No, I'm not. You know what? Not in my own community. Not in my own. And sir, you have to call the police to remove it. Are you kidding me? So who are you all? We're police, but But what did I tell me what I did? You're creating a disturbance. No, I didn't. You all violating my rights. I came in here and said nothing to no one. I walked away. Y'all saw her walk on me. Step out that door.
You know, that kind of resonates with me, right?
Why are the huge YouTubers ignoring this and only playing that one part. That's my problem. That does not make me look. I mean, look at that. We just saw, you saw what you'll believe me in the words of Trina Dale. I never can get what she say. Am I gonna believe you on my lying eyes? But look at what's happening right here. That is an elder of the community, and the community is paying Mary Avant to kick her out. Her taxpayer dollars got her kicked out her own TV, the trustees meeting. Here is another with the blue shirt. What would I say? Former trustee and a former mayor, allowing this older, I'm sorry, Mama Hill, I'm not trying to say it like that, but an elder, younger than Mary Avant, to be put out, right? She's a baby elder. That's what I'll call her, a baby elder. And the whole time, Jason House walked up and deceived everybody. So, and then look in the back before we even do that. You see, let's go to this tab. Look at what's on anybody see what's on the back of this? I don't know if I can. It's a whole jumbotron in the Park District. So if you don't want to look at nothing I'm saying, right? They could put the warrant list right there. Are you getting what I'm putting down? And that means both sides. That means Tiffany's side and the trustee side. You could see where the money spent right there behind Nakita's shoulder. So how do you feel knowing that they are, I mean, really, let's just one more time, look at Jason House and what he said to explain it to all this group of elders. So who's deceiving who?
For that belief, we have a wonderful, for this the belief was somebody would come here to disrupt information coming to the residents of Dolton. For that belief, we have a wonderful Dolton resident who has provided security for today to make sure that a situation, thanks to Sister Mary Avant and the team, to make sure that we can.
The way the whole crowd, Mama Hill is 4'11", 120 pounds, soaking wet. The way they clap it, like I thought y'all had a whole threat. So I cannot wait to hear about this bomb threat that they said Tiffany called in, because y'all should look into that too. If Tiffany called a bomb threat in, right, that meant that the bomb threat went into the fire department and the police department, right? That means that the building would have had to be evacuated, right? I need to know more about this. Y'all have to stop. Y'all have to stop and really look. We would have never knew. Look at this. You looking at it one side, but look at how many people turn their back in the community on Mama Hill. Ain't this interesting? Hit the like button. Let's get to this podcast. I can't believe that it was one young lady that spoke yesterday. She said, "You YouTubers," and yes, the whole room turned on me, and I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna say what I want to say." And this is the thing about Tiffany. I've never been threatened by Tiffany. Shay, I remember at one point, Shay was like, "I think Tiffany is doing this" at one point, and I thought so too, right? When you know your channel gets struck and all this weird stuff. It wasn't even them. Do you know how many channels could be taken down by just what they say about Tiffany? She doesn't even bother with them. But I tell you who do play the copyright strike games. She keep on moving. You're putting ghetto in the title. You're putting her with ashy lips or looking unflattering in the title. I understand how mad you might be, but what has been founded? That's all I'm saying. Now, this is some proof I can tell you. Tammy Brown they got to hold her back. Why do you have to hold her back for what? What happened? What was that serious? That Tammy Brown had to be held back because Mama Hill got a camera and she said, y'all pathetic for using Alexis Wilson's name for sympathy. That's all, but she was saying that under her breath. All right, hit that like button. Let's go to this. Now, this is what's important to me, history. A lot of things are being scrubbed. I don't think Mayor McDermott is going to scrub this. So I think and a lot of people haven't watched this. This was 9 months ago. I want you to hear from your mouth, from my mouth, from your mouth, from their mouth. This is Left of the Center podcast. Take your time and watch it. This is a cool mayor in Hammond. I think he's a generational mayor. His dad was mayor. Big Mike, I know you know. His dad was mayor. Then I think did it take off a beat? Then he became mayor, and he's been mayor for a long time. And he's sort of into weed and all that stuff. Now you're gonna hear about the weed. Remember the famous weed incident? And it was all our fault. It was all our fault. Y'all, I'm gonna read a letter that I have. And it was about me killing somebody's pet with my superpowers from over here in Dolton. But I think the pet was in Washington. But the person that sent me the letter, they have since apologized to me. Not, they just was like, man, Bird, they're on the inside. So they just was like, Bird, I can't believe I fell for everything. They were just being honest. Like everything that's going on, they were so mad at me and attacking me. It's a couple of YouTubers coming around now. They're like, they blocked me. Now they're in my comment section. Like, hey, Bird, look. They like, and it's more than one. They like, Bird, look. I don't blame you because they had the internet on a chokehold. Now it's your duty. Report those warrantless. What's all those leases? I'm worried about one Tahoe. Now I see about I'm looking on Conscious Channel. 6 different banks got different leases every month. We need to just buy a car and ride it out and call it a day. Buy one Chevy Capri squad car and call it a day. What is going on? And this is my final thoughts about that. Do you guys think that Jason House is going to ride in a Dodge Neon when Tiffany had a BMW? Tiffany called a Tahoe. Sorry, Tiffany had a Tahoe. Riley Rogers had an S-Class Mercedes. Bill Shaw had a top of the line Lincoln. You think that Jason gonna turn around and he gonna ride and what was that? I was like, he gonna turn around, he gonna ride in the Buick Regal. What y'all think Jason House gonna ride in? Come on, y'all. These leases are insane. These leases are insane. Danny, you right. What you say, Orbs? Orbs said, I remember Mama Hill saying at a public meeting in a village board meeting that she knows Tiffany, and many residents said because she's been in the community for a long time. Mama Hill has. But I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Y'all gonna be so mad at me. But I think I told you before, so you won't be. I've never seen a trustee a day in my life. Only Jason House when he campaigned to come. Now, not this one, but before. Only Jason House when he was younger. He was campaigning for mayor. He was campaigning for mayor, and he was going door to door. The second person, Tiffany. You see Tiffany during. I'm not lying to y'all. I don't know why y'all think this is a lie. They're mad because Tiffany going door to door with turkey boxes. That's what she's been doing. Now, let me tell you who else does that. Nate Fields. Not turkey boxes, but going door to door. You know why? They were trained under Zuccarelli. They were part of the Z team. And Zuccarelli, in my opinion, he reached out to people. Now, he didn't reach out to people in Dolton, but y'all isolated Tiffany where she can't go nowhere. So she can't have different fests and events and any other. Thaddeus Jones ain't gonna let her to come to Calumet City. The mayor of Markham not gonna let her go to Markham. So everything has to come here. I don't know why people don't get that, because y'all have isolated her, and the people are scared. Like, man, if you come over here now, I don't know why she can't go to Phoenix other than it's so small. But Chris Clark and Harvey's not gonna let her over there. Mayor Patty and Lansing is not gonna let her over there. Where can she have the events other than when she's mayor? And that's when, let me say this. This is me and my personal thoughts right here. The way stuff happened at that caucus was so silly. It may be a blessing in disguise for her, because y'all could have literally accepted her nomination. You had the majority of the people in the room, and she still could have been voted out. Man, you let your emotions take over your intellect. Let your emotions take over the intellect. Okay. Let's go to this thing, because I mean, they instead of doing a nah goodbye, she could have said, "Hey, I nominate myself," and Napoleon could have said, "Sure, come on." He was like, "You will not be recognized, or you are not recognized." Oh my. Ay. All right. I think I don't have a doctorate or a law degree, but Bert, just go and hire me, because you are just like the recall. You giving people bad advice. All right, let's go to this, and I want to listen to some of the powers that Stephanie Weiderman said Tiffany had. This is very interesting.
Outdoor patio, enjoy award-winning craft beer, chef-driven menu, and craft.
Their team is ready to help. Call them today at 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Hablamos español.
Rogers Roofing, when you demand nothing but...
I also, you guys on a different level, listen to how Nakita voice talks to them versus how she talks to us at a rally or a podcast. Go to Anton Daniels. Listen how her voice is right here. Y'all remember the Clean House campaign? Y'all remember Anton Daniels' interview? You remember the interview with Jedediah Ryan over, what's that guy name? Where is Carl? Is Carl okay? Listen to how Nakita talks to them versus how she talks to us. Just putting it out there.
The best for your home and family. Trust the industry leader, Rogers Roofing. Transforming homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. Their commitment to quality shines through their roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the most comprehensive warranties in the business. Visit their website at rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 to schedule your free consultation. That's rogersroofing.com at 219-933-9145. At Rogers Roofing, we expect nothing less than excellence every time.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana with a 30-year legacy of excellence. Their experienced team, led by Rick Baltonsberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top quality signs and printing always on time within budget. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today. Misprint, your partner for creating impactful visual solutions.
Calumet Brewing. It's time to experience Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a 4.2 ABV. The perfect way to start 2024 and keep those resolutions in check. It doesn't matter if you're kicking back after a workout, hitting a pickup game at the park, or heading out for a day on the slopes. Be ready to enjoy a superior light lager.
And in Midwest area.
Chief of Staff.
And the sponsor, Powering Indiana, Lake County.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the studio. Two wonderful ladies that have agreed to come on Lockpot.
Want to say this, just so you know, that is the mayor of Hammond, Indiana, and that's his attorney. And they have a podcast. It's called Left of the Center Podcast. This is 9 months ago. Pay attention, and shout out to Mayor McDermott, to some key things you didn't know.
One is Dr. Nakita Cloud, the former village trustee.
Chief of staff.
Chief of staff, excuse me, chief of staff.
It's in the notes.
Yeah, of Thornton Township, sorry.
He-
And then
he
we
has
also
a
have
Village of Dolton.
Yeah, she's a
He started out
I
great.
should just let
This is,
Kevin
you know,
come in.
he just turned
This is
55
Kevin.
yesterday, so
Yeah.
this is
I forgot how to read.
It's gone way downhill.
Thanks,
right
doctor.
there.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
It's all right. And we also have Stephanie Weiderman. Stephanie is the Thornton Township former chief of staff for Thornton Township. Yes. Thank you.
Welcome,
Hey, pull
ladies.
up the microphone right to you guys. Okay.
Okay.
Get it
Yeah.
all up in your business.
Yeah,
Welcome.
right.
All
Yeah,
in my
literally.
face. Let's go.
I sit it literally
you want me to
against my
drop
chin.
a mic? I see you got Snoop over here.
I do.
you
That's
know?
right. You
Yes.
know, we have our Summerfest every year. It's called Festival of Lakes. You guys got to come out.
Oh, for
Dalton's
sure.
We
Thornton
haven't had
Township's
Snoop.
not far.
We haven't had Snoop yet.
We tried 3 times. and
Really?
We had him
He
under
likes
contract
TV
one
too
time.
much.
And
You gotta legalize, some
But-
stuff. To get him.
No
There you
shit.
go. It would
No
help.
shit. By the
Yeah.
way. By the way, I turned 55, so I was saying I get 10%
Happy
off.
birthday.
Thanks.
Happy
Appreciate it.
10% off in Cal City.
That's right. 10% off. Yeah, I love it out there. So you guys, by the way, like Illinois was huge when they legalized. That was a great move. Did you guys in Thornton Township and in Dolton, did you see a lot of increased traffic from Indiana? Obviously, right?
Actually, you mentioned I am Dr. Nakita Nietzsche of BAM Body and Mind Dispensary
Whoa,
in
what?
Linwood and in Markham, Illinois.
Out.
What?
Yes, I am.
My pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
seriously.
So I
That's
got
like-
treated. So
Oh,
we'll
no,
talk
I'm-
offline.
Talk to you.
I ran for U.S. Senate in my first.
So he's asking about how people had it's legal here to smoke marijuana, and this mayor is definitely he wants legalization in Indiana. And she cut him off and was like, "Oh, I'm Dr. Nakita of BAM, which is a weed dispensary in these areas in Illinois." So that's what you're hearing now if you didn't know.
Campaign commercial, I smoked weed in it in Illinois.
Really?
My first commercial, it went viral. Not obviously that
On
viral.
420.
Yeah, it was on 420. We dropped it and it made a splash.
For sure.
But I lost still. But anyway, it was a.
That's
It was
you had a
a
good run.
it was
So speaking
yeah.
of things that go viral, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we were having you in to talk about your experience in Dolton and Thornton Township, where kind of like season 11's favorite story, Mayor
it
Tiff,
seems like
is dominated.
we don't really cover stories over and over again, but with her, it just when it hit us, it was like there was so much material to cover. We couldn't give it just one show.
She's the gift that keeps on giving.
We've
doubt,
said
right?
that right here on the podcast.
It's unbelievable. Like it's weird. When I first became mayor, my father was mayor, and then when I took over, my dad gave me really good advice. He told me
Right.
to stay away from campaign money, just basic stuff like that to keep you out of trouble. But he put in me a not a fear, it's just like, hey, let me know you always have bosses. When you're a mayor, you may think that you have no bosses, but you have bosses, and they're called FBI agents.
Yep.
And they watch you, and you
It's
have to
called
be
the
leery
federal
of these
government.
FBI agents because they will regulate you. And-
Exactly.
right? And
Quickly.
it seems to me that she has no fear at all of FBI agents. Like that's the thing to me that's just amazing. It's like she thinks that she's on her own. Like if the council supports me, that's all I got to worry about. And it's like she never got that talking to like I got,
What's unfortunate is that she thinks even when the council doesn't support her, she can do whatever she wants. The,
Right.
the council, the village trustees, the majority does not support what she does, and she still proceeds as she wants.
All right, so let me ask a little bit about that, because I know that there's a lot of people in Indiana that listen to our show, and they're used to how city and town governments in Indiana are set up, right? Where you have a mayor and you have a city council.
Right.
So in Illinois, if I'm not mistaken, you have cities and then you have.
I'm getting ready to prepare. I'm going to prepare a video right now where we're listening of Trina Downs at the last board meeting, because this is bringing up memories. I think this is where they speak on what Tiffany can do as a supervisor. So right now we hear Stephanie saying she does what she wants to do regarding Dolton possibly, but I want to go to the last board meeting where Trina Downs said what Tiffany could do for the trustees being missing in action in the township. And I think that's Tiffany might be refusing to do. I don't know, but let's listen.
Villages, right?
Thank you, Orbs. And we got the mayor 2025, Cassandra. We got a lot of heavy hitters in here. Miss Jordan, I would love to talk to you. We have Trina Downs in here. We have Miss Asia, Choose, Critical Smoker into the building. My Boo Potato. What's up, Jeffrey Sloan? Thanks for giving us some constructive criticism up in here. We appreciate it. Tracy, everybody, if I'm missing you, my apologies. Blame it on my head and not my heart.
Right. There's no town. So villages are set up with a mayor and then trustees, correct?
Yes.
Which is kind of like the city council.
For sure.
Okay. And so in Dolton, Dr. Nakita, how many trustees are there in Dalton? Oh, that was a quiz.
6.
Sorry, 6.
6?
There's
Is there?
6.
6 trustees.
And does the mayor get a vote on the with the trustees?
No, only she's a tiebreaker in
Okay.
some cases, but she hasn't had the opportunity to be a tiebreaker at this
Okay.
point.
And
So
so,
she's 6, and if it's 3-3, the mayor would come in and break
Exactly.
the tie. Gotcha.
yeah. So because I noticed on TV, like she has a seat in the like kind of there with the council
Yeah,
when
she's
they're
in
the
the back
trustees.
like she's a god. I see
Right.
her. Yeah,
so let me
it's
explain to us how you hooked up with Mayor Tiff and how and your position with her, and then why you left.
Yeah, so I served my time with Mayor Tiff when I was introduced to her. I didn't know her from a can of paint from the former chief of staff, and they wanted me to come in as public relations because that's where really my area of expertise is. So I came on as her publicist, but
Was this after she won already? Or was
yeah, she had just became mayor maybe a month or two.
Okay, so it's 2021.
Yes, 2021. And then she had a controversy with the young lady, Alexis Wilson, who was shot and killed by Dolton police. And her statement that she put out by her, her statement that
I want to say this with all respect to everybody involved. People keep bringing up Tiffany and never bringing up who the police chief was at that time. No disrespect. Y'all know how I ride for Cara Wilson for sure. And then they use Alexis Wilson as and Cara Wilson, I apologize. They use her as I don't know what the word is, so I won't say it. But they use that as a something. But when Cara Wilson has when they have something big going on, or if Cara Wilson has an event, Cara Wilson had an event at along with George Floyd uncle at Prairie State College, and I know why Mary didn't show up because of that. But it was an event for Cara Wilson. You don't see them show up. They'll mention Alexis Wilson and wear the button and a t-shirt. And I'm not saying they got to show up every time, but them as a group, they won't show up. So I just don't want you guys to be fooled about that, you know.
that she put out, she stated that she stood with the police. Keep in mind, this is coming off of the brink of the whole George Floyd thing. So they're protesting. Yeah, for sure. So definitely that's not anything.
And as a PR person, we saw on my show, you guys put a 1 in the chat if you heard Mary Avant say what she said about George Floyd. We're going to be on whoever come in next like they're George Floyd. This is why I'm like, it's not, things are, that's what would be making my head just be like, what is going on? But let's continue. Let's listen. Let me shut up.
Thing you want to say. So she had people protesting her home, protesting the businesses.
That was right off the bat, huh?
Yeah, it was right after. It was bad.
That's when you got brought in.
Yeah,
PR.
so I got brought in for PR to try to fix the situation. However, the chief of staff actually immediately quit. So
warning signs. Hey, you want to be chief of staff? I'm out.
It was literally in her letter of resignation. She literally said, "I just think Nakita would be better fit for this because I had more
recommendation on the way out."
Look at you.
I mean, it was horrible.
Like walking right into it.
Like right. So she comes. So the mayor come and she talked to me. She said, "Well, listen, since you run the mayor's office and public relations is kind of included in that. Why don't you take the job as chief of staff?" So I thought about it and I said, okay, well, great. I'll go ahead and take the job as chief of staff because it still allows me to do all of the things that I do under public relations. So I did that. And one of the things I learned immediately is the mayor doesn't listen. Right. And one thing about a publicist, our job is to storytell and make you look good in a positive light. But if you're not listening to the advice, basically all I'm doing is essentially just taking your money. Right. So lying for you. Right. Like, she'll do stuff like gas giveaway, right? Which is a great noble thing.
That was a big thing for a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. But however, But if you want me to embellish and tell the news that 1,500 cars pulled up, that's unreasonable. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I can't.
Gotta have credibility.
Exactly.
Gotta have facts. Right.
Exactly. So I'm trying to explain to her, like, well, Tiffany, think about it. All of this can be FOIA'd, you know.
Right.
Let's start here.
Right.
And then, you know, if we can't verify this information, you're not just putting your name.
From a person on the ground, I have sent many a FOIA request. Who's in charge of answering our FOIAs right now? So we got to go back here. Who's in charge of answering our FOIAs? I saw a video. Hold on. I don't know if Trina's still in here, but I want to play her video of her trying to get her FOIA request answered. Was it a FOIA request, Trina? I don't know. I just want to play. This is somebody that's on the ground. And I want y'all to see somebody that's on the ground. She was there saying her FOIA request she put in 3 weeks ago. And maybe it's gone. Let me see. She's up here trying to get her. Now wait a minute. I want to say, I don't know what depths the FOIA request was. What if it was something simple? I don't know why. First of all, I don't know why Trina or any citizen have to be behind a bulletproof glass. Because when their friends want to come in the village, they come in front door, back door, side door. Same with Tiffany. It's only the residents that have to be looked at through the bulletproof glass. I'm not saying that this just happened with Jason. It happens with Tiffany too. You're behind the bulletproof glass. So Clerk Key is in charge of the FOIA. Also, the deputy clerk. Now, before that, remember Clerk Key told us, if you recall, so you got to go back 8-9 months ago. So you can't forget what happened 8-9 months ago. When you go back, they said Keith Freeman took all of Clerk Key's ability to answer the FOIA. Okay, so let's look at Trina Downs' video quickly. And y'all subscribe to Trina Downs. And this is just her trying to get a FOIA request. Just so you know, like, you can have your own thoughts on everything. Please know I'm not trying to convince anybody, but this is the deputy clerk with Trina Downs. And I want y'all would think that Trina was in jail. No smoking sign, bell, plywood door. This is the village of Dolton. Now let's just look.
Thanks for that 3 weeks ago. And I came up here consecutively asking Mr. Larry where you were and where the copies are. I also replied to your email. Why don't you have it? The Attorney General will get what day? Because I'm sure you should have your email. Why do I have to put in a request when I put in a request 3 weeks ago? I did. I came multiple times for that first request and you were not here, nor did you leave them, nor did you email them to me. Anything you can help? Yeah, you can do your job that we pay you for and not give me whack excuses to why you're not fulfilling.
And y'all can go to Trina Downs' page and get the rest of that. But it looked like we're in dang on jail. And this is not all Tiffany's fault. It's not all Tiffany's fault.
These are my media contacts. These are my relationships. Sure. I'm not going to put my name on the line for you. Well, long story short, she thought that as her chief of staff, this is literally what she said to me. My job is to take the L's for her. Like, I'm supposed to go down. Mm-hmm. No, I saw Titanic. Sorry. Not going to do that. So, you know.
So how long did you last?
I last about 6 months. I was like, you know what?
Is that longer than the first chief of staff?
Yeah, you know, by 6 months.
Good job. By 6 months.
She lasts a week, you know, so she hit the Guinness book. I'm like a close second.
So you were out after 6 months.
Yeah, I was out after 6 months. But, you know, I witnessed a lot of, like, she berates people, disrespect. So imagine the way she talks to her trustees during a board meeting.
Yeah, we've seen it.
I got it even worse, right?
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, and honey, we seen even worse from you. Like I can't. When I was watching this, I felt so bad for I felt so bad for Nakita. I felt so bad for Nakita, and then she just started. Y'all just wait, because they're not good at what they're doing. None of them are good at what they're doing. They can't hold anything. As soon as they see a podcast, they on the defense. It's the worst. It's the worst. I don't know why everybody you saw at that caucus were people that were with Tiffany at first, and now they hate Tiffany. Now they done took all the rejects. It's really insane. This lady said she was gonna slap me for having a comment. Yeah, that ain't slander. Timestamp, it happened.
A couple times.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. I think that you probably picked up on my personality right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take too much of that shit. So I'm sorry.
Mhm. No, you, oh,
No,
are. It's a podcast.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
no, I'm not
It's
going to take
nothing.
that. So, things got interesting
sorry.
really quick.
With you
And
and her.
I walked away.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't do it.
So Stephanie, I want to get into so kind of like as much as Dr. Nakita's over at the village, your experience is at the township, right?
Mhm.
And
Correct.
so in Indiana,
She started as Mayor Tiffany started as mayor and then worked her way to the township, correct?
well, she was appointed. We're going to get right. Why don't you explain?
Now, this is my thing about Stephanie. I always find it weird that how was Stephanie able to say, no, I'm not messing with Tiffany no more. Not Tiffany. She wasn't messing with Tiffany at all. She didn't have the job we have on record that Stephanie Weiderman said, and I don't have a problem with Stephanie. I don't have a problem with anyone. This is just what they told us. So I was on this whole plane where, I have no problem with no one unless you come for me. Once you come for me, I have the right to defend myself. It's a lot of bad actions going on. Them over there allowing a Dolton politics group to be controlled about a one-sided narrative. I think it should be for anyone that looks up Dolton politics and say, hey, let me see what's going on with Tiffany because my vote matter. Y'all losing. Not losing in a sense of votes, but it's like people are, I ain't seen nobody say Tiffany pork chop in a long time. You got those few people hanging on for their Christmas money, but nobody, they like, no, something is weird. How did Stephanie jump from chief of staff to the director of the park district in Dolton? Out of the 17 municipalities, how did Stephanie jump into Dolton as this amazing 6-figure role? No one see anything. She could have went to Markham. She could have went to South Holland, which would have really been hot because Thornton Township is in South Holland, if you guys didn't know. She could have went over there in Calumet City, but she jumped immediately. Okay, Stephanie, you don't have a role. Not to say, I think let me tell you two things. Her holding a job, no matter what people want to say about her, I know Michael Smith tried to bring up she only had a diploma or whatever. That's fine. And she was chief of staff. She held a job for 20 years. That's admirable. However, you hate Tiffany so much and you jumped into Dolton Park District? Do anybody see anything weird about that? I would have went 17 municipalities. Stephanie Weiderman was a chief of staff under Frank Ziccarelli. She could have, she could have worked for the community college. She could have worked for Lansing. She could have worked for the village of Thornton. She could have worked for Homewood. She came to the person she despised the most, village, and worked there. Just putting it out there. I could be wrong. Just putting it out there.
So wait, you're at the township, 17 municipalities in Thornton Township, biggest township in Illinois, right? You were there for 20 years.
Yep.
And then,
and if you look at her shirt, it says Dolton Park District, if you didn't know that logo.
And you were chief of staff there. Okay. And explain how Mayor Tiff becomes supervisor. And supervisor, by the way, for those that are listening in Indiana, is like the trustee of a township. And the
So she's the
trustees
boss.
in Illinois are like the advisory board. in
Gotcha.
Indiana.
So the supervisor is the boss.
Supervisor is the boss.
Trustees are the board members.
Correct.
Gotcha.
There you go. All right.
It's time for me to clean the bushes. We got 80 people in here and 40 likes. Give me a minute. I'll be back when we get the likes up or some of these people leave, okay?
Into Burgundy Blue Commentary.
Can I be recognized, Mayor?
You want to be long-winded? I'm just asking.
Okay, now we back because the numbers match the likes. Okay, so if Stephanie hated Tiffany so much, we're going to listen to this part. I just can't fathom why she would even want to work in the Park District. And look, we got all the interviews. We got all of them. We got the Hannibal is Hungry interview. We got this interview. We got another interview. We got 3 interviews. And I got my interview that she came on. She said Tiffany offered her. She said, look, you can't be chief of staff, but we're going to give you this job. And Stephanie said, well, I don't want anyone else to lose their job, so I'm going to just walk out. That could have happened. Like I always say, I wasn't there. But you went to Dolton. This is the chief of staff. Her best friend is Frank Zuccarelli. She says that in this podcast. The best job you could go to was Dolton Park District. Is that not weird? Is that not suspicious? And that's where we hold all the board meetings now. Very coinky dinky.
Yep. So in January of 2022, the previous supervisor passed away. That left us in a situation where the township board had 60 days to appoint, or it went out to an open vote. So the township would have run an internal election where people who wanted to be nominated brought in residents. Those residents made votes. Whoever had the most votes would have taken that seat.
It's like a regular election.
Correct.
Okay.
We just run it internally.
Okay.
So the trustees go through the 60 days. We're on the very last day. It is 11:54 p.m.
There's a meeting at 11:54 p.m.
It was 11:54 p.m.
7 minutes. We had 7 minutes.
Yes. So
for the trustees to agree. Otherwise, it goes to an election.
Correct.
Okay, got
So
it.
I believe in order to prevent that open election from taking place and from it going out of the control that the board felt like they had, they threw a name out and that name stuck.
Wow.
And it was Tiffany.
It was Tiffany.
Wow.
So you were the chief of staff working for the supervisor that passed away.
Correct.
And so now Tiffany comes in
And she's going to clean house.
she just like right off the bat, was she just like, sorry, you're not going to make it?
So there was a moment where, being in a leadership role, you take on the responsibility of trying to make sure that your team is okay. We knew her in passing. She had the township supervisor was also the Democratic committeeman. So any election that was run in Thornton Township was.
This is, first of all, hit the like button. Thank you. This is what I want y'all to listen to. The township supervisor was the Democratic committee man. Who's the Democratic committee man now trying to become the township supervisor? Is this thing on? I need a soundboard because I wish I could do like what Shay does. Is this thing on? Is this thing recording? Listen to what Stephanie's saying right now.
60 days to appoint, or it went out to an open vote. So the township would have run an internal election where people who wanted to be nominated brought in residents. Those residents made votes. Whoever had the most votes would have taken that seat.
It's like a regular election.
Correct.
Okay.
We just run it internally.
Okay.
So the trustees go through the 60 days. We're on the very last day. It is 11:54 p.m.
There's a meeting at 11:54 p.m.
It was 11:54 p.m.
7 minutes. We had 7 minutes.
Yes. So
for the trustees to agree. Otherwise, it goes to an election.
Correct.
Okay, got
So
it.
I believe in order to prevent that open election from taking place and from it going out of the control that the board felt like they had, they threw a name out and that name stuck.
Wow.
And it was Tiffany.
It was Tiffany.
Wow.
So you were the chief of staff working for the supervisor that passed away.
Correct.
And so now Tiffany comes in
And she's going to clean house.
she just like right off the bat, was she just like, sorry, you're not going to make it?
So there was a moment where, being in a leadership role, you take on the responsibility of trying to make sure that your team is okay. We knew her in passing. She had the township supervisor was also the Democratic committeeman. So any election that was run in Thornton Township was, at some point, these candidates came through us. She was one of those back in 2012, I believe.
I'm sorry, I keep pausing it. Are you listening to what she's saying? I just want you guys to listen to the Democratic committee man was the Thornton Township supervisor. Who's the Democratic committee man now trying to be the Thornton Township supervisor? If you care about the township, really listening to this stuff, you guys. If you care about the drama, I'm not knocking you if that's what you want to do, the drama. But if you care about the township and your vote, listen to what's going on.
It was Tiffany.
Wow.
So you were the chief of staff working for the supervisor that passed away.
Correct.
And so now Tiffany comes in
And she's going to clean house.
she just like right off the bat, was she just like, sorry, you're not going to make it?
So there was a moment where, being in a leadership role, you take on the responsibility of trying to make sure that your team is okay. We knew her in passing. She had the township supervisor was also the Democratic committeeman. So any election that was run in Thornton Township was, at some point, these candidates came through us. She was one of those back in 2012, I believe, right before she ran for trustee of Dolton. So we had interaction. We knew who she was. I was like, okay, you guys, this isn't going to be bad. She's still part of our team. Let's wait it out. Let's see what happens. That was a Thursday night she was appointed. Friday, I was off work. Just because I hadn't taken a break. My, boss had passed away.
Sure.
Just so happened to be my best friend. It was a tough time for all of us.
Who is the former supervisor? I'm sorry.
Frank Zuccarelli?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I met him a couple
okay.
times.
Okay, wait.
So we
I'm sorry about that.
This one we got to pause.
So I took the day off. I just kind of just needed to clear my mind. I go back to work Monday, and that was when I realized.
No. Now I'm gonna put the link in here. I'm putting the link. I haven't had the link in here in a long time. I'm only taking people I know. I only taking people I know because I see so many people here. Here's the link. Here's the link if you want to call in. I'm only taking people I know. I do like Stephanie. It's not an issue. Thank you, Trina. Trina says she just quit or she quit. Let me know when, Trina. She said that Tiffany was elected and she had to take the next day off. Let's replay that. First of all, Frank died in January, rest his soul. This was when? March? Into March? Let's go. So you did not come to work.
We had interaction. We knew who she was. I was like, okay, you guys, this isn't going to be bad. She's still part of our team. Let's wait it out. Let's see what happens. That was a Thursday night she was appointed. Friday, I was off work. Just because I hadn't taken a break. My, boss had passed away.
Sure.
Just so happened to be my best friend. It was a tough time for all of us.
Who is the former supervisor? I'm sorry.
Frank Zuccarelli?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And
I met him a couple of times. He was a gentleman.
Yes. Yeah. So we
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you very much. So I took the day off. I
can understand that. I'm with House. Hey, House of the that's a bad day to take off. The day the new supervisor is appointed, you look just as bad. You didn't. So you mean to tell me from the day Frank died to the day Frank died to now, this the first time you took off? So you waited 3 months and was like, okay, he did, and rest his soul. We got Conscious on the line. I'm gonna bring Conscious up, but Conscious, okay, here you are. So you guys, I'm only bringing the people I know up. You're welcome for your opinions. We could talk backstage, and then that's it. We're just talking opinions. Not saying she wasn't hurt, because grief is a mofo. What I'm saying is that was the most horriblest day to take off. The day after the new supervisor was appointed, it's when you take off. But it go back to what we all say. I think I've never seen when a chief of staff roll over to the new person, even in mayor, presidents. She already knew what was going to happen. Okay, I'm bringing Conscious up. Hey, Conscious, you live?
Can you hear me?
I can. You're live. We all can hear you.
Oh, lordy.
You here. And thanks for getting us those warrantless. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh, baby, I've got more.
Oh, my goodness.
I've got about 7 months.
How we can't get the warrantless and we live here? That is crazy.
Well, there's a little trick. I'll give you the trick in the email.
Okay. I'm like, we're right here. We say, can we have the warrantless? They say, yeah. And you saw Trina down trying to get her FOIA request answered. Nothing. So thank you for at least getting that out to the public so they can see both sides. But do you have anything to say about this? Because we're looking back 9 months and we just want to see how this aged.
Oh, where do we start? Where do we start? I don't even know where to start because the whole damn place is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And it always has been. And I'll tell you, I didn't FOIA those warrantless. And I got a couple from Jason House, but not the rest of them. Do you remember the time? Hold on, I'm out of breath.
No, take your time. Take your time.
It's my heart.
No, don't look. Take your time. Drink some water.
I came upstairs.
If you're getting the warrantless and it's not, I can say something about Jason House while you're catching your breath. That's why I always say, and people get kind of mad at me when I say, "Ooh, he's not gonna make it the 4 years. It's gonna be Tiffany and Kiana." I don't see how anyone can't see, even with when you see awards going around, when you see interviews going around, it's all talking about you. And I think that Jason House has a little more politician, even though everything I've been through, he has a little more politician / trying to be transparent, but he has so much right in him, in my opinion.
He's been on the board since what, 2016, Trina? I mean, he knows everything that's gone on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, do you remember the time when one of the clerks were saying they're trying to wipe our computers?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that.
Guess what they were wiping? The financials. But we got them, and that we grabbed them before they were deleted. We didn't get all of them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we're able to get those warrantless and put them up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
But why they just won't put the warrant list? Every meeting, I went to Munster meeting the other day with Carl Wilson. Every information the people, the residents want to know: water bill, sewage, painting the fire hydrants. They had it on the Jumbotron.
Yeah. Yeah. And it should be in our village. We have 2 boards, actually. But we have the warrant list, we have the agenda, and any ordinance or anything that is going to be passed in that meeting. We have everything. It's right there as you walk in. So for them not to do it, and Mama Hill has been asking in open meetings, I want the warrant list. Does any of the trustees or the mayor answer her? No. Do they go after the meeting and say, here's a copy of my warrant list? No. And, the Lightfoot report with Amazon. Oh, $40,000. Oh my gosh. They know exactly what was spent on Amazon because it's itemized in the warrant list. Remember a couple of months ago, I was talking to you about you got to get the warrant list. You got to get the warrant list. You kept telling me, Conscious, no, they're never going to give them. You might as well forget it. It's a dead horse. This is why they won't release them. Because it's all on there. Every dime they spend. But they don't want the people to know about that. All they want to do is talk about Tahoe. Flights. All this other stuff. But what's crazy is, and I want the audience to answer. How many trees can you have in a 5-mile radius?
Oh my goodness. This tree cutting, and it's a young man, Go Political. He was him and Hannibal is Hungry were trying to figure that out. But I think the grass cutting and me being here, I remember they were yelling at the people, telling them they're not going to get paid, the tree cutting companies. They're still out here to this day, cutting trees and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it's the same block. I see them cutting trees.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Are they like trimming one limb for $4,000 and then going back the next month and getting another limb?
I don't know, but what I can say from going out here, we have some big trees, big sturdy old trees. However, they go over the people roofs, and they grow into their roofs and all of that stuff, or their what's that called? Their roots go into their sewage. So I know all that is a problem, because we have, like on my block, I have tons of trees, and some blocks have alleys and some don't. So I can say that. But I think it should be where the tree is being cut. We should see the address or the block. Not even the address, but just, hey, I took this off Dorchester Avenue. 5 trees were cut. Not just tree trimming. It should say where it was.
Oh, they're all on the invoices.
Is it? Oh,
sure.
I cannot wait to see. Okay.
They're all on the invoices that the trustees receive with the warrant list.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they don't tell us. So, can I ask a question? I know you're not giving everything out. Have you seen anything about the skating rink? Because people won't care about the trees or anything. They'll care about the skating rink. Have you seen any of that on the warrant list yet?
No.
That's
Actually,
shocking.
I have not.
That's shocking. Because she spent $1 million on a ice skating rink, and we're supposed to, I want to see where that is. Like, I want to see the paperwork on that.
No, haven't seen a thing. I have not seen a thing. But what they don't tell you is when they first came in, they ordered a brand new fire truck. You know how much those things cost?
I can imagine.
They ordered new police vehicles, new policemen, all of this. They overspent as soon as they got in. All of them.
Because we had that money from COVID.
Yeah, but that was a one-time deal. But the problem is they spend money like water. It's not their money, so they spend it. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. I mean, you look at these warrant lists, would you spend money like that?
We're going over your warrant list today because it was a couple of things I saw, especially it's the food. And I love dogs. I love pets. I like pets. But a canine kennel or something for $20,000? I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. $20,000.
How many canine dogs do we have?
One.
Well, that might have been Zsa Zsa Gabor, German Shepherd, I guess.
I don't know. And giving inmates McDonald's. I had to stop them.
How much did the McDonald's cost? I'm just wondering because I've known this since the beginning. It used to be, and anybody in my chat from Dolton, you could tell me. It used to be the inmates would get a #1 from White Castle and Dolton. So some of that would go back into the community because we're buying at Dolton. But now they're going over to the inmates get #1 at McDonald's. And that's in Calumet City, technically. So how much did they spend on McDonald's?
The 1 month was $262 and some odd cents.
Yeah, you get if you get locked up in Dolton, you get a #1 breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you don't eat meat, they just say, "Give me a #1 with no meat." It's the same.
I've never heard of such a thing in my life.
Yeah, they're not really gonna make a bologna sandwich. It's not gonna happen.
I don't get it. It's a waste of money. It is. It's a waste. I'm sorry. It's a waste of money. And people might be mad at me for that, but
we need a new police station altogether too.
Oh Lord. Well, they wanted to do the Melanie Fitness.
Oh yeah, they wanted to do that, but I didn't know how. Well, I guess you just cover up the pool, but I just didn't know how that was going. It was going to be a lot of work for them to convert Melanie Fitness into a jail. It was going to be a lot of work, but
I think it was going to be half and half.
Oh, it's going to be what's half and half?
Half one side. One half of the side was going to be the police station.
Mm-hmm.
The other half, Melanie Fitness with the pool. But I think it was February of this year, they just spent $34,000 on that pool.
Oh my gosh. Now that's so sad. And you know what's so bad? Even with Tiffany, when this is how people always think we're Tiffany supporters. Why would you put a police sign outside of a building that's not the police station yet? I just don't get that.
And light it.
and light it. Now it's been about 3 days. I always credit like the report. The lights are not on at night no more. The Dolton police station lights are. But I'm like, we spent money for a sign, and I understand why it just couldn't be a little sign, future home of Dolton police station, not a whole. It was just too much. It's too much.
They just waste money. It's mismanagement.
Yeah, and I haven't been inside, so I'm gonna say that I have not seen the inside to see if anything's changed. So I'll say that. So I don't know if they did any build out.
Yeah. You want me to stick a camera in there?
Conscious, let me tell you, enough people are walking around here like, oh my, the small YouTubers.
Yeah.
That we're sitting over here and they're just believing that we're just all spies for one sector. However, the people on the streets, I always told y'all, this is why Tiffany, in my opinion, why they threw her out the caucus. She has such a good voice in the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the same with the small YouTubers. So I'm hoping that one day we can encourage the big YouTubers just to look at both sides of the story. That's it. Just look at both sides.
I'm watching all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of them, top down. You cannot blame one person. I'm sorry. You can't.
It doesn't make sense to blame one person, and we see that it's injustice everywhere, especially like we saw at that tea with the trustees. That was covered up for about 2 years that was Mama Hill.
Well, I want all the people in the bushes to remember this name, Pam Bondi.
You and that laugh. Now, I don't even know that name, but wait a minute. I think I do know the name. No, I do know that name.
Oh, Pam Bondi.
Wow. Okay.
Remember that and sneak back to all your little people and tell them that name.
Oh,
because I know her.
It's interesting. Well, Conscious, thanks for calling in.
Okay, thanks, ma'am.
I'll chat with you later.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You guys, that's Conscious, and it's so funny just to hear like how someone that I don't know, no one knows, just got all this Dolton information, and we're sitting here marching to the board meeting every day, and they won't give us nothing. And Jason House just emailed. Keep that in mind. Jason House just said, "Here's all the paperwork you need." Isn't that interesting? Jason House, I didn't FOIA it a million times. Ain't got nothing. Conscious got it. All right, let's finish this podcast. Hit the like button, you guys. That was very interesting. Hello to everybody that's into the chat.
Kind of just needed to clear my mind. I go back to work Monday, and that was when I realized we were going to have issues. When I tell you that it felt like the most hostile takeover you could possibly imagine. I mean, the amount of security she brought in there, the police coming into people's offices, she brought in Andrew Holmes, who has nothing to do with Thornton Township. He is a village trustee. He's walking around with our salaries talking about, oh, well, yours is going to be gone and yours.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I was there, so I can confirm.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
How does she split time? Because she's a mayor also. So, like, how does she split her time
She
like
does
that?
not split time. Let me go on record and say that she's a supervisor, and she's a supervisor first that happens to be the mayor.
Right.
So what she do is because the township comes with a lot of resources. And so what she do is she do everything under the township, and then she sprinkle it over to the mayor's seat. For example, yesterday board meeting, all she talked about was everything that she do at the township.
Right.
But a person who
Acts
doesn't
like it's mayor stuff.
understand
Right.
will think that it's mayor,
Right.
mayoral. So yeah, no, but to Stephanie's point, I was there that day. It was bad.
So, there's been so much news about the mayor, right? And it's like, it's viral, right? It's all over podcasts all over the country. There's national.
I'm just wondering, they're on what sides? And thanks for calling in, Conscious. I wonder what side. I guess if she was on that. Well, Tiffany got appointed because she was the one allegedly that drove Tiffany to Frank Zuccarelli house. Remember, we heard the story. Now, this is the story. This is the story. Picture it, Sicily. The story was that they heard over the airwaves that Frank Zuccarelli had died, and Tiffany put on the municipal police plates on a car and got through the yellow tape to Frank Zuccarelli house and came in. Y'all remember that story? Was it just me? Put a one in the chat because I don't want to be out here by myself. Anybody remember that story? And she went in to give her condolences, and allegedly Nate opened the door. Stephanie was also there. Frank's body was still in the room. I don't know how that meant she got elected, but that was the story that we've been hearing going around the airways. Because remember, we have to go through 9 months of content and what people say and timestamp so it happened. You know what I mean? Or timestamp it didn't happen. Also, I want to go back to this Andrew Holmes situation. This is interesting to hear because no shade, Andrew Holmes can't even work his flip phone. So it's very interesting. Not to say he couldn't be a tyrant walking through there, but every time I've seen him, he's been kind of like clipboard, paper. And so he's walking through there telling people their salaries are going to be gone. Man, y'all should have got him up out of there. This is very interesting to hear. Because I would have thought it would be more of a, not Andrew, a Stan Brown, a Quigley. Not Andrew is kind of, I don't even know. Not as swift, but if he was doing it, he was doing it. I was not there. I cannot. This is what they experienced. So we're going to give them what they experienced. This is very interesting to hear. So what right did he have as a non-township employee to be flipping through there and saying your salary's gone? That don't make sense. Not saying it don't make sense like they lying. I'm saying he had no right to do that.
Attention being paid to it, and definitely local, right? What was the first thing that she did that you guys said, oh, this is going to make the news, and it did? Like, what got the attention of the local news?
Stephanie wants to talk. I can tell. I'm a good body language reader.
It was definitely the walk to Springfield, the non-for-profit walk to Springfield, hands down.
Really?
When that took place, it was almost unbelievable.
I forgot they picked the walk to Springfield. I blame Tiffany, Keith Freeman, Carmen Carlisle, and everybody else that walked, Stan Brown, because wasn't the Senate closed or something, and they did that whole walk to Springfield, and then get there and it's closed. First of all, it's not just Tiffany; it's all of y'all. But she is number one. She is to blame. You didn't check the Senate. I thought mayor should know if the Senate was open. I thought that village administrator should double check. I thought secretary should check. That this is interesting. So let's hear this story because that was wild.
Because
what was the purpose again? It was for Tiffany
Cares
right?
Foundation or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
for not-for-profit.
For her non-for-profit, right? So their goal was to bike ride to Springfield to get a bill passed. They were supposed to sit in front of the revenue committee and get a bill passed for people to get a $10,000 write-off on their taxes.
Credit on your tax.
Right.
Yeah, credit on your taxes if you were suffering from cancer.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, which sounds like a great cause
sure.
until I see the $10,000 donation from Thornton Township. And then I see the credit card statements that have every hotel, every restaurant, every single place they stopped, the gas card was used, the vehicles.
So
were
it wasn't
used,
paid
the
for by the
employees.
foundation.
No, it was all paid for by Thornton Township.
Did they walk the whole
Springfield
way?
wasn't open.
And they were
These are the most important parts.
Wait, what? Shit. What?
Nobody called.
Hold on.
Springfield wasn't open.
Hold on, guys. Because we just have to go. I agree. That was the dumbest. But hit that like button, guys. Let's just see who all was on the walk to Springfield. And then I also want to say, when we get to that part, when we get to Springfield, who was the registered agent of Tiffany Henry Cares? Keith Freeman, who they don't want to get rid of. It's quiet now. Let's watch who was there. I'm just wondering since we're talking about it. So that laugh sent me like they already knew. So right off the back, I see Carmen right here. Just looking. They go Lacey with the gray. They go Andrew Holmes back there. He's in front of the guy with that bright yellow. So right here, this off the top of my head, who I see. Don't call me no more. Don't pray for me no more. Carmen Carlisle in the pink and the orange. That's our commander, and that's an officer for Dolton. Then you got Lacey. I don't know what I know. This lady in the pink, can't think of her name. And you got Tiffany. That's on purpose. Got the DJ. They go Kamal. Okay, we got Trina Downs calling in. Is that Darlene? I couldn't tell if that was Darlene. She's more knowledgeable on a lot of things. Thank you so much. Let's bring Trina up. Trina, you live? Oh, hold on. Trina, you live?
Hey, Burgundy, how you doing?
How you doing, Trina? It's not too cold today. How you feeling?
Girl, it's nice outside. I was so excited to hear Conscious. You know, I'm a big Conscious fan, honey. Like, I need her whole autograph. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the warrant list, Trina?
Yeah, but I know that that's something that she had to be getting ahead of time, because if you look at them, they're from 2023. You see what I mean? And so I know they're not trying to give out information. When Lori Lightfoot came with the Amazon thing, that's the first thing I said. Everybody Amazon is itemized. You can't hide what somebody got from Amazon, because you can't hide it from yourself. When I go on my Amazon account, I can see what I ordered previously. Movies, music, merchandise, all of that. So why wouldn't anybody else?
Yeah, they acted like they couldn't see nothing.
Oh, they absolutely can. They absolutely can. You know, and that with Napoleon, that caucus, that was just pure gangsterism. You know, it was just so sickening to watch, to say the least. You know.
How did you? Yeah. I was going to ask you a question. The caucus, what they did, with the party before. How do you feel about that? That 5 o'clock party, Trina? We might have lost her, y'all. I'm sorry. I know y'all be excited to hear what she had to say. Let me see, Trina.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay. My phone had froze, so I guess I gotta be like literally on the screen for you guys to hear. And so the caucus was just plain illegal. Plain and simple. He had people in that room ahead of time in the same exact room, seated, eating a meal. The only way to make that right would have to been let everybody leave the building, exit, and come back in. Everybody's literature, including Tiffany, said that the doors will open at 6. Therefore, no one's expecting the doors to open before 6.
Exactly. And another thing, correct me if I'm wrong, but the caucus, they said something about they cannot register anyone until 6, and they were registering people for before the dinner.
Yeah, Stephanie Weiderman gave somebody paperwork at approximately 4:30. I have a witness to that. So it was really, really strange how everything went. When a person got there around 4:30, it was no other people standing outside.
Hello? Trina, we lost you again. You're probably not on your screen. She drive. We can hear her wind. She probably out and about.
Yeah. So how can you hear the wind, but you can't hear me? And
No,
so
look. Go ahead.
So he shouldn't have had people in there ahead of time. That was definitely a setup. They knew what they were doing. It's not. I don't like the way he came in, so he doesn't have my support because of the way he came in. You know what I mean? We ended up. Everybody agrees that maybe we should find someone else as supervisor or whatever, but who will that person be? Why didn't he sign, when I almost called him Michael Dots, when Michael Smith came on and was speaking about Napoleon's address, and where he says that Napoleon really lives in Flossmoor. That was very alarming to me because you're supposed to be using your real address, right? You're not supposed to be saying you live in Harvey. And that should have been a red flag for everybody. Like, why is a multimillionaire living in Harvey? It's not that much love for the hood in the world. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The logical belief and the logical thing to believe is that he lives in Flossmoor, and that at that address that they gave. But how long have they known he lived there? I'm sure this isn't just some brand new revelation. Oh, look at where he lives. And that's why they shouldn't hold each other's dirty secrets. You know what I mean? He's been living there, I'm sure. And then everybody says doxing, da 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 da. But in all actuality, which case is going to be predominant? The case that he doesn't actually live where he say he's been living, or the case that somebody said where he's living?
Exactly. And I think that's why he's not possibly bringing it up. I have another question. I don't want to bombard you since I got you on the line.
I believe he lived there, and that's why he didn't do the preliminary petitions or anything like that. Why would you just pop out, right? Sometimes I date Kendrick Lamar say sometimes you got to pop out and show. You know what I'm saying? And he surely did, but he still has to take in consideration that whether Tiffany has supporters or not, you don't violate people's rights like that. That's how she ended up being supervisor, because Chris Gonzalez violated the people's rights as well as the rest of the board, making a quick decision that I do not feel was in haste. I definitely feel like she's the scapegoat for more to come. Like I said, it's $14.6 million held in cash assets, and they're going to make her the scapegoat for that. Jerry Jones was the treasurer, and he just upped and he's gone, and don't nobody find that weird. He's the treasurer of Thornton Township. Treasurer means money. So you can resign, but we need to count this bag as soon as you go.
Trina,
and we need to count it twice.
That's very true. It's sort of like not the same apples and oranges, but how nobody ever is our finance director Tanganyika anymore. They just skate old. She gone, so that's it. How do you feel that when Tiffany got on the floor and said, "Hey, I nominate myself," and he said, "You have not been recognized"? How'd you feel about that? Hello, Trina. We lost you again.
First of all, Napoleon got his lesson on how to do the dirty from Bert Olderson. That was plain to see. He kept looking. It only lasted a few minutes, but he constantly kept looking at Bert Olderson for confirmation of this is what you do, this is what you do. So the whole thing looked like, the scene in Carrie when they pour the blood on her and all of that. That's essentially what they was doing to Tiffany, right? But Carrie wasn't running for office and didn't have supporters wanting to vote in a caucus outside the gymnasium. You see the difference? And then they keep validating stepping on the voice of the people because of how Tiffany acted. However she acted, whatever dumb shit she did, right? That doesn't mean that you say, oh, the people shouldn't have a voice, or people that you feel support her shouldn't have a voice. That's absolutely ridiculous. The support and dismay for Tiffany, the support for Napoleon and disdain they have for Tiffany, like, that's an easy win.
Yeah, I don't understand why they just wouldn't. Yeah, I agree.
That was just some get back that everybody wanted to get involved in. And if the public sits back and watch this egregious action take place without saying anything, they're going to be in what you won't have a.
Uh-oh, you went out again.
Just like the people didn't have a voice then, they won't have a voice when he's in office.
Yeah. If you did that, that's the same thing. Like I told everybody, I said that na was rehearsed. You think everybody always did that? That was rehearsed at the luncheon.
And nobody should vote for Ed Steve again. Don't forget what he did in trying to validate all the reasons why people's waters were being illegally shut off and wanted to be.
Dang it, we keep losing her, y'all. I'm sorry. Maybe that's like when her phone rings.
I'm spearheading, the water shutoffs. That's absolutely ridiculous.
You cut off. What happened with the water shut off? You cut off.
I said no one should ever vote for Ed Steve again because of how he co-signed the illegal shutoffs of all the water in Dolton when he was with Riley Rogers. And he wanted to be recognized. And so do not forget, let him stay in recognition. None of them, I can't believe they voted for Tammy again. She's done nothing for the people. And when I was telling everybody that she attacked Miss Hill at the thing, nobody was trying to believe me. And I had the video, and it was such poor quality, that until Shay was able to blow it up because it was in a small MP4 format, we had proof, but we had to single-handedly go around and show the proof. And that's how she ended up trying to get an order of protection on me because I told the pastor not to let them have tea with the trustees at the church across the street from my house. They couldn't even read the room that nobody wanted them there. We were all having a church picnic. Like, nobody wanted to hear that Dolton divisiveness. We just wanted to eat the barbecue and the watermelon and chill. But that's not what happened. So now we have Brittany. She's rerunning. She's done nothing for the people, but have these skate parties that seems like only her kids and 5-7 other people that she know is invited to. Kiana talks about the leased vehicles, but we paid for her Tahoe too, a Suburban too, right? At $40,000 a year times 4. That's what? $160,000. So we paid for her car too in full. You see, Key, that's on the license plate. We paid for that. The people. For her to do what? Argue with Tiffany? Nobody could come to no proper way to run the community. They all sold out. Jason had a crib in Monique. He come rushing back to Fountain Crest condo.
Nobody talks about that.
Yeah, but as soon as you ain't nobody seen Jason in the hood until I said that. Then all of a sudden he popped up. He was mad as hell when I saw him in Jules too. Yeah, you here? You be right here. And that's the same way they need to do Napoleon. Napoleon, you say you live in Harvey. People need to be seeing you living in Harvey.
Yeah, you don't see them out there. I got another question, Trina. So we're gonna go over when you spoke at the board meeting later today. Did you notice how Chris Gonzalez called in for the electoral board for his votes to be counted and they approved it? Did you
Yeah, I seen him call in. That's absolutely ridiculous. It shouldn't have been respected unless that's protocol.
Yeah,
I don't like the fact that he did not come to his own board meeting multiple times, but why are you following behind Cassandra Elston at the school district board meeting? Because you don't want Delgado to replace Oderson or whatever was going on. Y'all, they were there because it's some stuff going on with Bert Oderson. That's the only reason they were there. I feel like I live in or on a plantation where the lawyers are the massa, and then these are just field hands. You know, the people in leadership. Okay. When I was speaking about running for office, I had someone come to me and say, well, we're going to support you. We can support you all the way, but you got to deal with Oderson Murphy and them. No, the fuck I don't. Why do you feel that way? That's why I say it's like a plantation, because just what's going on. Bert Oderson, no, that's.
He went out again, Trina.
Yeah, but because we are Black people, he feel like it's okay, right? That everything is chaotic, everything can go the way it's going. Like the community looks terrible as a whole. And even if I want to sell my home as a homeowner, they're going to be trying to lowball me because of all the bad press.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then I really wouldn't care, because that gets me out of being in a home that's completely paid for and spending $2,000 a month on property tax like I'm renting. That's crazy. Especially when $2,000 a month is market rent.
You are
so they're gonna have to, in order for Dolton to ever come out of debt, they have to raise the taxes to what the debt is. And that's 24 to 28% any given day on everyone's home. But everyone wants to just look at the village of Dolton when the schools take up most of your property tax bill. The high school and elementary school, they take up most of the money on the property tax bill, but nobody going up there checking on them while they repairing elevators that they ain't even got. And the high school alone was $54 million in the hole, and they just found someone to buy that debt.
Wow. I'm gonna ask you another question, because you are so right about that. A lot of people are like, I'll just walk away from my house at this point. A lot of seniors too, they're like, I'll just cut my losses.
But no, at this point, I feel all us residents need to stick together. We need to file a class action lawsuit for legal malfeasance against those attorneys who are not working in the best interest of the village of Dolton. We need to file a class action lawsuit on the village itself and the trustees for mismanaging money for years. Under Riley Rogers in 2013, when they had that press conference that Dolton was broke, we only owed $800,000 to Chicago for water. After he sat there for 8 years, all of a sudden we owe 12 million because every time we paid our water bill, they put it in the general fund and did what they wanted to do with it instead of taking care of the fiscal responsibility of paying Chicago. So who's going to pay for that? Because he put out bonds, right? We have to pay for those bonds after we pay for our water bill, and we have to pay interest on those bonds. So you paying your water bill 5-6 times over.
Yep.
But everybody yelling Jason House. But everywhere that Jason has worked has been shut down. And he has a very sketchy history as far as where he works. That healthcare consortium was not ever in the U.S. Bank building on Sibley. That is a lie. It was not ever there. I don't know if he used it as a covert tax. I mean, not tax, but just weird address to get money in. I don't like how Healthcare Consortium gave Frank Zuccarelli in Thornton Township a $500,000 grant and they received $150,000 back. I don't like how the feds bust in on Jason's job because they decided that they was going to steal a $500,000 grant that was supposed to be for young Black nurses, but you had Black women go and use it on themselves personally. And it doesn't matter that they indicted. It's just the unmitigated gall that someone would do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you notice after the meeting, Trina, and I'll let you go because I'm holding you up. But after the election, after the caucus, the next day was the school board. Then after that, Thaddeus Jones was over there locking his trustees out.
Right. Thaddeus Jones locked out everybody in Calumet City for 2 days, claiming it was something wrong with the building. So nobody can what do you do with the ballot thing? You know what I mean? So no one can contest anyone's ballot. That's absolutely, it's just him and Napoleon need to go. Right? If Napoleon was going to do something for the community and Napoleon lived in Harvey, don't you think it would look way better than what it's looking like now? He was elected in 2015. That's like 10 damn years ago. Why hasn't he done something to help Harvey? It looks terrible. And he says he lives there. And if nothing else, he has a thriving pizza place there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why isn't that community looked after or taken care of? And why does he want to step from his state position down to a township position? Quite frankly, he's done nothing in the state. If you go on his website, look at his literature. What Peatone Airport? You're wanting insurances to pay for wigs or hair weave for people who got cancer or alopecia. Yeah, but what are you doing as a whole? Right? And he's sending money to the same communities in a state that he now wants to supervise. That's serious. Because you can't be in a position where you're essentially supervising money for a position that you have on another level. That's an extreme conflict of interest. And these dual offices must stop. It is not legal for them to hold multiple offices. The only reason they're able to do that is because it's not challenged in court. So hopefully I can free up some time for myself and challenge these dual positions in a courtroom, because no one should have it, and no one should be actively running for office knowing they're going to have a dual position. Thaddeus Jones shouldn't be mayor and sitting in the state. Andrew Holmes shouldn't be on a Dolton board and essentially took the place of Riley Rogers on a Thornton Township school board. Okay, because that's serious. That's how we have $1.5 million in chicken wings missing. because Riley Rogers sitting over all the money in Thornton Township for the schools. Just him and one other person at the time. And so they didn't notice that somebody ordered 1.5 million in chicken wings and the school don't serve bones, but his restaurant does. Don't nobody think that's strange? Don't nobody think that the park hire for Stephanie Weiderman was some kind of nepotism hire? We're team Zuccarelli or team Tiffany over here, and you guys are over there. Everybody's getting it's an actual ordinance in place that no one's supposed to be working in the village of Dolton unless they live here, and that they have 6 months to a year to move here or lose their job. But how many people working in Dolton don't live here?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. It's on all sides. But Trina, thank you for calling in. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, but I might be a write-in for mayor. I'm really considering it, because at some point the game gotta stop. And if you talk to any of them, they always say, that's the game, that's the game. No, it's not. It's our lives. This ain't no game. These are people's lives that the few are making decisions for it. This is not a game. You see, at all. And so how long are you going to sit and let people play games with you?
Yeah, it's like a finesse for sure.
So I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. And it's no accountability whatsoever. And it ain't going to get no better under Jason. Are you serious? It was terrible with them all there. It's going to continue to be the same cycle. As soon as he's elected, give it a couple of months, then it's going to be the trustees versus the mayor game plan again. That's how it goes.
And yep. Well, you let us know if you decide what you're going to do, and I'll report on it over here for sure.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a write-in, and people will definitely have to pick up that pen and show that they can write. But the back and forth sandwich between two liars, nothing getting better. Like y'all will truly have your community back, because I'll be needing everybody input. At least I got 3 damn degrees, 1 in accounting. Jason, a finance guy, Kiana, a finance person, but do they got a degree though? I have 3. 1 is in accounting. So I don't know. Maybe the private sector has much more to offer, but if it's not offering me to get the hell about the community, I'm gonna have to put my name on the ballot, because the bullshit gotta stop. It has to be somebody that's capable. They're not capable.
If you want to, I think you have the right to write it in, because I think this election, a lot of people are going to think more if they don't feel like they're bullied into the situation. So we have to make sure everybody knows all the corners, because
it's already set up. You seen Jason, Kiana, and everybody with Napoleon. The game plan is already set up. I hear the language from Nakita. We need to take over the Southland. Well, motherfucker, you don't even live out south. Why don't you start by moving out south? You want to do so much out south. You see? Because I'm not understanding anyone with a philosophical degree that hasn't had the philosophy of getting people to work together.
Yeah. I was at that rally. I didn't know about it. Ran up there, came in there, and there was a brother in there. I'll text it. We'll share it with you later. He was like, "Bird, don't put me on camera. I don't want nobody to know I'm over here." And I'm like, why is a grown man scared to show support for who he want to show support at?
Because they're gonna attack you, just like they said on Martin's show and attacked me. Oh, you flip flop. I'm not a flip flopper. You an ostrich. You an ostrich. You quick to pick your head out the sand and say Tiffany did this, Tiffany did that, but you put your head back in the sand when it comes to Jason and the trustees. Everybody does wrong. So I can't speak on everybody doing wrong, right? You just want me to speak on what you want me to speak. And that it don't go like that. I'm an autonomous person. I don't say what people want me to say. Not even if you pay me. Ask my boss. I don't say what the hospital want me to say. I say what it is.
Yeah, that's what makes you a unique and beautiful individual, because you have to speak up for what's right. Like this stuff right here, it's just not right. And when I saw that, brother, I said, now that's why we don't have nobody in the community that want to stand up. And that's going to be the problem at the polls, and we have to stop that.
Yeah, after just the whole crab in the barrel, stay on cold, all of this stuff that we have in our community, you can't say that other races don't vet their candidates. I have not ever heard anybody say, vote for me because I'm white. Like, you won't hear that. Vote for me because I'm Hispanic. Vote for me, I'm Mexican. But black people tend to say, vote for me because I'm black. But everybody that's on the ballot is black. So what else? What else you got?
Trina, how do you feel about how the Republicans ran their caucus? So, like, how do you feel about this being like the Republican caucus versus the Democrat? I find this really interesting.
What I found most interesting about the Republican caucus was that attorney Solomon was in there talking to one of the people inside. And I don't know if they hired him as counsel or really what's up with that. But I felt that their caucus was way more organized. You know, they said they gave the option that you guys want to do this on paper, you want it to be a vote by voice, and you can account for the voices in the room. You can literally see who was in the room.
I think we lost her. Like, I think when that happened, her phone rings. Trina, we can't hear you.
Screen just locked. That's what's going on. The screen locked, and then you can't hear me. But yeah, it was way more organized. You can account for whose voices are voting in the room. It was nothing like Napoleon's caucus. That was rigged. He knew it was rigged, and that is going to end up in a lot of litigation in court. So it's just ridiculous. And all of the judges were all of Tiffany enemies, right? It was Jason, it's Kiana, it's Stephanie, Brittany. You know, it's like it's really biased. You know, I did laugh. I'm not gonna even lie. I was laughing for a minute. I was like, "Yep, that's what she get." But that's not how I feel about the caucus. You know what I mean? I'm glad that she got a moment to see what it feels like to be locked out and have your rights violated. It don't feel good.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's illegal and it's not right. And so all of them meetings that she had where she did it to me and other residents, where it has not ever been done in the history of Dolton, then yeah, you get to see what it feels like. But no, dude, I'm not dealing in no gangsterism like that, because if you do it to her, you also did it to the people, and you had no problem with even acknowledging or taking accountability that the people were caught in the middle. You just like, so what? She laid her people, you know, just all of the spin. So when they really dogged the community out, the same big mouth, Nakita, Kiana, that be sending people off like she did about that check. She cashed $500,000 check at the current, like, that's stupidness. You know what I mean? That's going to be the same thing that the people get when the wrong people are in office, because you're not getting a better choice. I would personally, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I ain't voting for Tiffany no more, because I should have never been locked out. I should have never been locked out. Am I voting for Jason? Hell no. I shouldn't have to pay my water bill 8 or 9 times. Am I voting for the independent candidate? No. I haven't seen her in any meetings ever. Ever. And then she got flipped with Krigley, saying, shouldn't he be picking up the leads when everybody knows that leaves are picked up through Homewood Disposal, and the last day of Homewood Disposal pickup is November the 30th.
Trina, I'm going over that video because I think a lot of people don't like you understand for sure as a resident, me as a resident. When I saw that, it was a couple of like all that pick up the trash and do it your stuff. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That part I did too. I felt
it rubbed me the wrong way because you have the unmitigated gall to come and trash talk during someone contesting you on the ballot, but you haven't ever been to a meeting to speak up for the people or yourself ever. You ain't never showed up anywhere, and then when you in public showing up, you showing up with the wrong information. You don't even know when the last day of leaves being picked up is, lady. I'm not voting for nobody who ain't never been in no meeting present consistently. I don't care what you was doing. If you ain't make time then, don't make time now. She don't know what's going on in Dolton except the bad stuff. And everybody think they could just step on up because Tiffany did so bad. But step up and be capable. Step up and be comparable. Step up and be cognizant of what's going on. Just don't step up. Right? I'm tired of that. Yeah. I'm not voting for, I don't see nobody I'm voting for outside of myself. She don't come to meetings. Jason Bonds. Tiffany done lock people out and everybody is remorseful at voting time. But just like Tammy attacked Miss Hill, Tiffany had her ass locked up for no reason. So if Lacey just went and locked her up on her own, guess what? I called her phone multiple times. Yo, Tiffany, why is Cheryl up in jail? What's going on? Why is she in jail? Why is she up in there with no charges? How many times? She knew what was going on because I called her. And she ain't answered. But I know you got them messages and them texts because I got all 4 of them numbers. It's ridiculous. And who was Chief then? Chief Collins. Because when I went up to the police station, after getting Miss Hill voicemail, he said, I can't come up there and inquire about her, but she a grown woman who left me a voicemail. But you telling me that I can't inquire about somebody who gave me permission to through on a voicemail that I have in front of you, but yet you want to talk about it's your birthday. Fuck your birthday. Right? What about them 2 men who died up in a police station as he was chief? May of 2022 and October of 2022. What about that? What's going on with this $900,000 lawsuit? Because it keep changing names, but the case number stay the same. Right? I got Grace Levi and Jetta Doodoo saying that Cara, it was for Cara. But I read that it was for the protester. So I want to know what's going on, especially now that you go on the Village of Dolton website and ain't no meeting minutes or agenda now.
I thought they were going to put that up.
First, there was no meeting minutes. Now it's no meeting minutes or agenda. Just a big ass picture of the clerk and the deputy clerk. So it's a lot of bullshit jealousy going on because they talking about Tiffany and her pictures. Why in the hell am I on the clerk website where I clicked on meetings and agendas, minutes and agendas, and all I see is 2 pictures.
Well,
and a link for me to go to YouTube.
Have you been by Dr. Scott property and how big the campaign signs are for them? I said, this is from floor to ceiling.
That's what the people get and who they think paid for. We did. With all those backdoor settlements and keeping Alderson, Murphy, and Clark, whatever their name is, in court every other week. All that litigation the trustees got on Tiffany, why the damn door still locked? They love the people. None of that litigation included opening the doors and having the doors open for the people. Right, we go in the liquor store instead of Village Hall, it look like the liquor store. Right, that's what I'm talking about. Where the meeting minutes though? At least she had each and every agenda. Now she don't got the minutes or the agenda. They got even less transparent.
So when we
what are people expecting to come from that? Where and what I went in, which I did not even have to FOIA, and it's really against the law for her to say I needed to FOIA it, were the petitions, copy of the petitions of the candidates.
Oh, okay.
That's not something that you need to fill out of.
I think her screen locked again, you guys. Hold on, we'll see. Want her to be safe.
Anybody should be able to go in and get copies of people's petitions, right? That's not something that you're supposed to FOIA. But she told me I need to FOIA it, so I did. Then she disappeared. She not there, she not there, she not there. I went there for days and days. Then she sent me an email. I responded to it. I didn't get anything back from her. Then she want to play the game and say, well, the 10 days have passed. So, girl, where you think they do that? The 10 days have passed. I got 90 days to file a violation on you for not giving me that FOIA, whether the 10 days have passed for you to fulfill it or not. And they gave this airhead a raise of twice of what she was making to sit up there and play games, looking like somebody's nephew going to church with them 2 strings of baby.
No, we keep
baby, join me on my channel because I will go fully in. I don't like people stealing from me.
Yeah.
And when you getting a check and you don't do your job, you stealing. And then you're gonna gaslight me in my face like I ain't been up there. I get tracked everywhere I go. So good luck trying to say I ain't been up there for it. Good luck with trying to tell Mr. Larry to lie for you in court too. Because I doubt if he do it.
So we got Trina, and y'all, if I have a mod, can you put Trina channel in the chat as well? Because she has a lot of videos that she's been releasing, and she is a homeowner for a long time in Dolton, for sure. Me, I lived in Dolton. But I think that's really cool that somebody who can be young as her tell us about the bills in Dolton. Because sometimes a lot of the seniors, they're telling us about what they experienced, but someone that can tell us from the different administrations. Like I wasn't a home owner under Shaw or Riley, so it was a whole different ball game. So I always appreciate Trina for letting us know what's going on. And Trina, thank you so much, and thank you for telling me about that Red Bull because I'm addicted.
Oh God! See, I just got off of that.
Oh my God, I love it.
And it's so good too, right?
It's so good, and now I just love it so much. So we appreciate you, and I'll be talking to you because we're gonna cover your story later tonight.
What story?
I want to cover the part when you spoke. Critical Smoker, he actually just dropped your channel, and Conscious too. When you spoke at the board meeting about, okay, who would have known Jerry Jones is a treasurer? Who would have known, okay, that we're getting to that part where Tiffany could write as many $3,000 checks as she could?
Well, Stephanie Weiderman told me that. She told me that at the meeting before I asked about the 14 points. See, she seen on my paper that I was going to ask about the 14.6 million in cash. So she leaned forward to tell me, do you know that she can write as many?
Her phone keeps on. It's locking.
So when Stephanie seen, I had that question to ask about that 14.6 million. That's when she leaned forward to tell me, do you know that she can write as many $3,000 checks as she want without board approval? I said, oh, like in Dolton, she can write as many $5,000 checks as she want without board approval. So yeah, that's supposed to be the power of the supervisor. So I wouldn't even, if I was her, I wouldn't even argue with her. But you know, as soon as she put one $3,000 check, she done stole everything.
You're right. Because
so maybe that's why she hesitant. But sure, she had that power when they ain't provide ice cream for the seniors and lunch for the seniors. That's, you know, but girl, this is a mess. It's a mess. I'm just mad that I've been missing Big Bingo all this damn time because I thought it was for seniors only.
wait. We were together that day when we went to Panera when we found out it wasn't just for seniors.
Girl,
we
I'm like in real life.
I'm like, we could have been at Big Bingo. Oh wow.
Period.
I thought it was for the seniors, but they are gonna miss that. And then I think it's important that people know this is real people lives, because whether Jason get in, whether Tiffany get in, whether Trina get in, we live here. We live here. So this is important while everyone's on YouTube. It was one comment this lady said about the YouTubers. Like, while we all talking about it, only a certain amount of us, even the ones y'all see on the other side, they don't live here.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
And then when you think about running for all,
we keep on losing her by 100. Trina,
who want to sit there do all that mismanagement of money?
Mm-hmm.
You know, running for office. Say I run for mayor and win.
Mm-hmm.
They still gonna be trying to come for me, like, and I ain't took no trip nowhere.
Oh yeah,
I ain't did nothing. But you would not be able to play that game with me.
Yeah, because you know what, they're gonna try to. It's a gang mentality. They're all gonna try to pile up on one person.
Yeah, but it's hard to lie on somebody. It's virtually impossible to lie on someone who's going to stay walking that fine line.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? If you don't cut no corners, you ain't finna be able to do that. Just like the lady tried to lie on me the other night on Martin show with Trina, not even a resident. Girl, why is you lying?
But you know, that's the same one when the lady trying to, I couldn't see who was in the room, but she was talking about something about a GUN and just
right. That's why I'm gonna sue Miss Moody for everything she got, and if she ain't got none, I'm gonna sue her for a burial plot.
Okay.
Because I know seniors prepay for their funeral, because you don't get to say nothing like that about me, and you can't show and prove, and you slandering my name like that. That's why I told them to go ahead and let us say it so it can be clear and concise on the camera, because I'll do you like Tasha K. I know you ain't got nothing, boo, but I'll put a lien on you so hard you'll have to file bankruptcy forever, and judgments don't go away.
Yeah.
Court judgments you can't get rid of on no bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Trina. I'm gonna hit you later. I appreciate you so much.
Yep, you too. Have a good day.
Drive safe. Bye.
Yep.
Woo, child, Trina, look, what Martin be hitting that button, y'all. Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's why they be trying to silence her. Because she has the facts. Like, you guys, that I can't believe somebody was on her channel just saying she's not a resident, and that always cracks me up because they do the same thing with me. And it's like, if you saying Dolton got 20,000 people, if you're saying that, right? I'm telling y'all, I didn't know who Ed Steve was a day in my life, and he was a trustee. Point blank, period. I didn't know who Kiana Belcher was. Or Tammy Brown. Now, no. Now, let me tell you, Tammy Brown, I have a story for you guys. And it has to do with kicking it. Like, these people, like, some of those people, they kick it. They kick it. Any lounge, they kick it. So it's like a mingling. Like, you know, they all kick it. They hang together. So technically, you can catch them at any local lounge, like on the outskirts, kicking it. More than 2 or 3, so it's a open meetings out violation. But Chuck, I knew. So that's a story for another day. We're gonna come to it later. You only know certain people out here. When I'm here, when I had to be here, when I had to live here, I got off on Sibley or Dolton Avenue West, Dolton Avenue East, Sibley West or Sibley East, and I kept on going. When I left my house, I didn't kick it in Dolton. You know, it's no disrespect, but I wasn't at Mr. Mr. Rinky's sitting there at the slot machine all night. I wasn't there. It's no disrespect. That just wasn't me. I don't go to Wilma's. You know what I mean? I might go to Food for Less or Walgreens. That's my jam. My local stores, I like to make sure my money circulate in the area. So anything local, I try, like the beauty supply. We don't have a lot of things where our money circulates here in Dolton. It's not a lot of options. I'm not going to no furniture store in Dalton. They high as heck. So I'm not buying no furniture out of there. So I have to leave there. Nail shop, maybe. I don't get my nails done in Dalton, but braiding shop. It's wherever you can go to let your dollars circulate. But it's not a lot of places we can go. Walgreens, the grocery store, a restaurant. It's not a whole bunch of places we can let our dollars circulate, unfortunately. And we love Trina. So thank you, Trina, for always saying what the point is, because it's the factual. So she may decide to be a write-in person. There you go. So you heard it from her over here. I always tell you what's going on. I think everybody has the right to run, and I think everybody has the right to vote for who they want to. And it just cracks me up when the outsiders just they can say anything. I remember I was in court and people were lying on me and Shay in court. 100, just lying on us, just lying in the chat. And it was like, y'all will do anything you could do. Which is why you guys have to, if you can, and you're going through some, fight. I don't have to prove to anybody the way I'm fighting, but I'm going to tell you, fight. And hopefully my outcome. And I want to say that, shout out to Shay. He has a few days left for court, and I'm so proud of him. Shout out to Late Night Crew. I'm so proud of him for not giving up. We don't know what's going to happen when we go to court. We just know that we have a battle. So I'm praying for the best and positive vibes to him for sure, because he shouldn't have had to go through this just for standing up for his rights, standing up for talking on his platform. Now, if anybody we would have thought Tiffany would have took him to court. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way. I mean, if he, you know how Shay was making jokes and stuff. He thought that it would be Tiffany. Look who he fighting. The whole damn YouTube. And all he had was simple little commentary, things like that, jokes, late night stuff. And it wasn't even Tiffany coming from him. Like, y'all can't make this up. So we appreciate you, because if he wins this case, it's going to set, like you said, Tracy, it's going to change the whole world on how people be able to come. I mean, and he's doing it pro se. Proud of him. All right, let's go.
Legislature wasn't even in session.
No, they had to come back.
We'll be back in January.
Time to walk back.
It was funny. I'm not going to call names, but it was legislators like, okay, so what she's doing? Let's see. Don't warn her. Let's see how this plays out.
Like, I'm up here.
And look how she thinks that funny. Don't warn her. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, Jason House. All right, you see what you got going on.
I'm up here. I don't know where she's going.
That's what they did. They came back here and pitched it to the Revenue Committee in Chicago.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a lot easier to watch the Chicago from Dalton than it is to watch Springfield.
And you would have saved me a ton of tax money.
Let me ask you, does she have, so when those things are paid by the Thornton Township, meaning like the credit card bills, the hotels, the T-shirts and sweatshirts, how is that? What's the process? Does that go through the board? Does she have full control over those expenditures?
No, because those came out of general fund. So in the township, the way it works is we have 3 separate funds: Road and Bridge, which is controlled by the highway commissioner. That is an elected position.
I want y'all to listen to this.
That is not voting a position. And then we have general fund, which is run by the supervisor and the board. She needs board approval to spend.
So like
any
claims
money.
have to go through the board and they get approved. Okay.
And then general assistance is our GA fund. That's where she has complete control. She does not need board approval to spend.
So
any
she
of that
could
money.
she could theoretically, if she could pull it out of there to pay for a T-shirt, whether that's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right.
She could.
But she could.
She could.
Where
That's
did these
crazy.
claims go through?
They went through general fund. The board did approve them, but they were all credit card.
So
points
like
by
the money is put into general fund and she could do whatever she wants after it's put there by the board, right?
in general assistance.
But the general fund is what paid it.
The general fund,
Including
is
the
what paid
T-shirts
it.
and hoodies?
Absolutely, all $17,000 of them.
So if I'm her, I'm going to say like, I just submitted them. What she's saying is she has nothing to do with the.
She's the face.
Yeah, she's the face of the.
But the board approved it. You see how they skated over that? The board approved that too. So it's like really listen to what's happening here. It's two ways they're saying this, but yeah, the board has to approve it. But yeah, she generally could listen.
Position that is not voting a position, and then we have general fund, which is run by the supervisor and the board. She needs board approval to spend.
So like
any
claims
money.
have to go through the
Yes.
board and they get approved. Okay.
And then general assistance is our GA fund. That's where she has complete control. She does not need board approval to spend.
So
any
she
of that
could
money.
pull. She could theoretically, if she could pull it out of there to pay for a t-shirt. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm not saying it's right.
She could.
But she could.
She could.
Where
That's
did these
crazy.
claims go through?
They went through general fund. The board did approve them, but they were all credit card.
So
points
like
by
the money's put into general fund and she could do whatever she wants after it's put there by the board, right?
in general assistance.
But the general fund is what paid it,
The general fund,
including
is
the
what paid
t-shirts
it.
and hoodies.
Absolutely, all $17,000 of them.
So if I'm her, I'm going to say like, I just submitted them. What she's saying is she has nothing to do with the.
She's the face.
Yeah, she's the face of the charity, right?
With
She
her
did say
name,
that.
her namesake charity.
She said it.
Her namesake
She said it.
charity.
She's the face and name.
That's scary,
The
man.
one that she took the photo shoot for, matching outfits to the
I saw
website,
that.
pointing like, yes,
Yeah, right.
the face.
Yeah, you know what's funny is before this all broke out, I would see her picture on the highway and I'd be like, like
Okay, so I wanted y'all to go to Left of the Center podcast because we've been long-winded over here. But I know, like, this always, you know how I feel about fashion and stuff. They put Kiana in the same exact outfit that Tiffany has on. This is what we're dealing with. They put Kiana in the exact same dress and outfit that Tiffany has on. It's mind-boggling to me. You can get that on Amazon, by the way, you guys.
wow, that's
Oh,
you know.
you
But
saw
I'd
her.
never see like the phone number or anything.
You're
I
like,
would just
man,
see
I
her
should get
picture.
one of those.
Well, look at these that she's trying to hang around. So last night during the board meeting, she wanted the board to approve $19,000 to put, you know, how you have the banners up on each light pole.
And I think that's ridiculous for the $19,000 to approve the her photo up on the banner. I do think that's crazy. However, I have to do my own research because I want to know who created the banners, because who created the banners, who got paid to do the artwork for the banners, and then who placed the banners. Also, when we get finished with all of that, they were taking the banners down through Keith Freeman. Now, all those purchase orders went through Keith Freeman, and the first time it was what's his name in Public Works, you guys? He approved the order. What was his name? It's not Quigley. It's the other guy. I would say Shorty Lowdown or whatever. He was the supervisor. He approved them to go up, but it's artwork. It's so many things that go into it. I want to look into that. Just because I worked in that position before, so I know what it takes to get all this stuff going. And sometimes the mayor just say, yeah, go ahead. But yeah, this is interesting. Let's listen a little more.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Tracy. Stacy.
Yeah, and light post. Wow. Did they approve it?
No.
So every banner is her.
No way.
Tom, you got to get
This
those.
is- like,
We
I
got to
gotta
start
take
doing those.
lessons.
Why
I
are we
gotta
doing
take
that
lessons.
in
I've been
Hammond?
there 20 years. This shit was teaching me things that I should be doing there. This is crazy. I feel like a bad mayor now.
So
like I never even thought of that. Like these light poles, I could have pictures of me everywhere. Welcome to McDermottville.
Yeah. Welcome to Dolton. These are something.
So wait. Even in the light of all this coverage,
she's still going.
Just last night, she's doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Oh, and WGN and ABC were both there filming it.
Wow.
We'll look forward to those.
That's a crazy thing. Is like, I mean, she is
doesn't
not
care.
afraid.
No.
Not only she's not afraid, she threw shots at him the entire board meeting. Yeah, and
She's not
cover this,
backing down.
Yeah,
cover there. They're like, okay.
thank you. Like you said, the gift that keeps on
Yeah, I'm
giving.
telling you,
We love you, Steph. We love you, Tim.
And then I'm a publicist, so I'd be like, hey, you watching this, Ben? You know,
They're just keep challenging.
You
her.
know, one of the things I have as mayor is I have a lawyer that is very in my ear. Kevin and I are real good friends, obviously, but not just that. Kevin's my lawyer. Like,
yeah,
his job is to keep me out of trouble,
Mhm.
right? And
Not
we
always
talk.
easy,
Which is a
but-
difficult
Great
job.
Not
It
always
is a
easy.
difficult job. I agree. But like Kevin is constantly talking to me. Hey, you should think about this when you say this. You know,
This is a
doesn't
good-
she have a good lawyer like that that's watching out for?
This is a good short podcast. Let's go on over to Anton Daniels, and he just dropped the video today. I appreciate you guys for being here. Hit the like button. We're just looking at all sides of it. Like, no, I don't agree with everything that's going on, but I think it's very important for us to look at what happened, like the past. Let's go back 8 or 9 months ago. Do we remember that Ben Bradley sent a certain someone to go take the license plate of Kamal's car? Why we forget of that? Remember, a certain someone was like, yeah, Ben Bradley asked me to go get these license plates. And now we hear Nakita, and now timestamped or it happened. I got it. And then we hear Nakita say, hey, I be on the phone, Ben, you getting this? And then we see how biased it is on that channel. Very interesting. So that could have been why Kamal was snapping at the news yesterday.
Let's go over to Tiffany Henyard, right? Because I do want to talk about Tiffany. I want to give y'all an update on what's going over there. She is absolutely pissed. And when I say pissed, she is 100% pissed about being pushed out of the primary for Thornton Township. Check it out.
We're learning more about last night's Democratic caucus in Thornton Township, which may result in Tiffany Henyard's name not being placed on the ballot for supervisor.
Nate Rogers has been following this story closely, joining us live now with the latest on what's happening. Nate?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. What a mess. I got to tell you, we've been speaking to attorneys all day long about yesterday's.
Does Nate have a matching sweater with his jacket?
Always.
Is Nate coordinating? Is he coordinating? Shout out to Nate. Nate occasionally breaks out and he say, hey, listen, this ain't the Nate of last year. I'm upgrading this year. Nate occasionally breaks out and he gets the matching sweater with the jacket, with the hat. I'm surprised he ain't got the gloves on there too. I just learned something new the other day. I went and bought some gloves.
Wait a minute. I don't want y'all ever to talk about me talking about fashion. Give it up to Anton Daniels getting in on the fashion with the burgundy blueberries finally. He's getting in on the fashion.
Democratic caucus in Thornton Township. Attorneys represent.
Now, everybody, I know that a lot of y'all knew, but some people didn't know that. Some people didn't know that.
That it was a caucus?
Some people didn't know that, all right?
Senator Napoleon Harris, who led the caucus, tell us that Henyard did not have a full slate, including a certified assessor. We also spoke to Henyard herself by phone today, and her attorney, they claimed that she was specifically targeted by caucus rules.
Napoleon Harris is a coward. He is a coward for not allowing the people to be heard.
Those rules eliminated any chances that Tiffany Henyard had, even if she had nominated anyone, even if she had nominated herself.
And take a look at your screen. Attorney Max Solomon is referencing this document right here, page 5 of caucus
There's
rules.
people in the chat that's saying that they didn't know. Stop acting like everybody knew. If it's only 1% of us that just now figured it out, it was worth talking about.
Supervisor candidates cannot already appear on the ballot for another office. Henyard is currently running for re-election as Dolton's mayor. Solomon says they did not receive caucus rules until the day of. Harris's attorney says they could have asked for the rules earlier. Now, yesterday's p.m., but Harris's supporters were pre-registered. They were allowed in earlier. The caucus lasted 7 minutes, with Harris being nominated as Thornton Township supervisor for the Democratic ticket. Fox 32 reached out to a non-partial election attorney and sent her the caucus rules. Here's more from attorney Carolyn Kaufner.
I have reviewed the caucus rules that they employed yesterday, and I know that they weren't followed because one of them requires everybody who's there, who's voting, to sign in and sign an affidavit attesting that they're qualified under the rules set forth by the election code and also by the caucus. I know there were people present there that didn't sign those affidavits who voted anyway. So that shows me there's a flaw. I know there were candidates for other offices who are not members of the Democratic Party who are running in this election as independent candidates for office in Thornton Township. I've heard they were present and participating.
Yeah.
So what it sounds like is this was a little bit of a free-for-all.
Now that's true because we saw Nate Fields up in there. We caught it on Reality Check TV camera.
So, and again, this is one of the reasons why I was saying that yesterday, is that all they're doing is setting up the township to have to spend more money because you know that it's going to be lawsuits filed. and you know that there's going to be more contention. And I don't understand why. Listen. Everybody was so celebratory yesterday because they don't like Tiffany Henyard. And I agree that I believe that she did a horrible job as a Thornton Township supervisor and as the Dolton mayor, as I am familiar with a lot of the things that she did. But when you rush things through, when you have a 7-minute meeting, when you don't actually do things, and when people can see, the initial reaction is always going to be, oh yeah, they got her out of there and all of this other stuff. That's what the initial reaction is going to be. But after the fallout and after all of the celebration, you're going to find out that when they try to do things dirty and when you try to do things backhanded, because let's be clear, for all of the people that are happy that she's out, what are you getting in return if she's not in?
Baby, check out Anton Daniels. I think I follow him. I was following him before with the Bag Chaser Millionaire Morning Show, of course. But what I like is everybody, he was one of those top YouTubers. Go just search Anton Daniels Dolton, and you'll see Jason House interview, Dr. Nakita interview, all these interviews. Some I haven't even reviewed all the way through. But you'll see these interviews, and then you'll see him kind of like, look, but what about this? And then all of a sudden nobody's on his channel. But he did that bomb threat they accused Tiffany of. He did on his show the other day say, hey, get them on the phone. I want to talk about this, and he's objective. So that's what I like about it. Like, you could tell him one thing. He's not here. He don't know. He's not here. Not that you have to be here to know. I'm not saying it like that. But he's not here. So he doesn't know. So everybody we see on YouTube had sources. But nobody had sources from the other side, just one camp. Nobody had Tiffany sources, or you thought the residents were the same people you saw at the podium. Those same people were the residents. And it didn't end up being true, right? It didn't end up being true. It's excuse me if I plugged in my microphone that I got. Thank you guys. Someone sent me my microphone, so if I'm a little too loud, I should have asked that at the beginning. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much for joining me for this 3.5 hour live. Oh my goodness. Please, 3.5 hours.
Can I be recognized, Mayor?
You want to be long-winded? I'm just asking.
And I was out there with the let the people in. What are we going to get in exchange? I am one to think that if she was able to even get the nomination and be heard, they still might have won. They would have won fair and square. But now it just doesn't look too fair. And now it's about to be a whole situation. So Tiffany Henyard Monday is supposed to go to court to file her paperwork. I'm not a huge media person. Y'all know I just do commentary and give you whatever's going on. But if I could find out where it'll be, what's going on, and where the media will be, I'll let you guys know. Maybe I'll be on the ground. I don't know. I'll let you know. But as always, if anybody, I just want y'all to see all sides. And remember, this stuff is happening to people in real life. So nobody got to lie. Nobody got to fib. This stuff, anything I say online, I make sure I have it so I know I have it for backup. Like, no, timestamp, it happened.
I got some clothes. I got some jewelry. The rest I got tied up in investments. I ain't got nothing else.
Take care of yourself and each other. Go to work, conscious. Bye.
Commentary blue. Commentary. Burgundy. Commentary. Comment blue. Commentary. Comment Burgundy blue. Commentary blue.